Hello and welcome in. For everybody tuning in over on YouTube, appreciate you so much for being here and welcome to the 358th episode of the Dean Wither Show. Same warm welcome can be extended to the 6.4 thousand people who've joined so far for the day over on TikTok. Appreciate you for being here as well. Alongside welcoming to all the VOD watchers that are watching over on YT after the live stream is already over. There's a couple thousand of you guys. Whole lot of love for every single one of you. And as always, folks, happy St. Patrick's Day. I intended to wear green, but I only have one green shirt. And I got to save that for my St. Patrick's dinner later with my grandparents. So unfortunately, we don't have the green on today. Now, guys, if you've never been here before, let's quickly run over what we do. We talk to Trump supporters to try to change their minds because I believe Trump is the worst president of their life, your life, and mine. Doesn't matter if you're 15, 20, 25, 30, 50, 90. It is an absolute fact that you have not seen an administration as bad as the one governing over the country right now. And that's the point of the streams. But we also like to keep you up to date with what's going on in the world around us, especially with the Trump administration. And that's why every day we also like to go over the breaking news. And guys, today's breaking news is kind of wild, not gonna lie. Donald Trump got exposed, guys. Usually it is a liberal, a Democrat, in Congress online attacking Trump. Today, it is a member of his own administration who resigned, quit his job, and is now attacking Trump over his lies and bullshit. We're talking about a man, let me just get his last name right real quick. Gonna go to my Twitter account. We're talking about a man by the name of Joe Kent. Joe Kent was Donald Trump's U.S. Director of Counterterrorism. He was appointed by Trump, and he worked under the Tulsi Gabbard, the Director of National Intelligence. Okay. This guy worked a very important job. I mean, he was the U.S. Director of Counterterrorism. And this isn't just somebody who would have access to the classified reports. He was one of the people writing the classified reports. So if anybody knew what was going on in Iran, with Iran, or why we went to war with them, it would be Joe Kent. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read you his tweet right now. This is kind of crazy. And I quote, "After much reflection, I have decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center effective today. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. It has been an honor serving under POTUS and DNI Gabbard and leading the professionals at the National Counterterrorism Center. May God bless America." And this is huge. Okay, because this guy's not a Trump hater. He's a Trump-loving Republican. He's MAGA, for God's sakes. He was a part of Donald Trump's cabinet, for God's sakes. And he's exposing the lies that we've been hearing from the administration for quite some time now. Now, of course, we all knew that they posed no imminent threat. We all knew that we only got thrown into this war by Israel. That's not new information, but now it's confirmed information by the National Director of Counterterrorism. Okay? This is so bad for the Trump admin. The White House is crumbling in front of our eyes, and they are already spinning left and right to try to get this under control. Let's actually go ahead and load up Caroline Leavitt's response to Joe Kent's message. Once again, Joe Kent said, "Can't support what's going on. They pose no imminent threat, and it's clear that we started this because of Israel's pressure." In response, Caroline Leavitt, Donald Trump's press secretary, wrote, "There are many false claims in this letter, but let me address this one specifically, that Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. This is the same false claim that Democrats and some in the liberal media have been repeating over and over. As Trump has clearly and explicitly stated, he had strong and compelling evidence that Iran was going to attack the United States first. This evidence was compiled from many sources and factors. Trump would never make the decision to deploy military assets against a foreign adversary in a vacuum. Iran is the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism. The Iranian regime is evil. It proudly killed Americans, waged war against our country, and openly threatened us all the way up until the launch of Operation Epic Fury. Iran was aggressively expanding their short-range ballistic missiles to combine with their naval assets to give themselves immunity, meaning they would have a degree of capabilities that would give them immunity to hold us and the rest of the world hostage. The regime aimed to use those ballistic missiles as a shield to continue achieving their ultimate goal, nuclear weapons. The president, through his top negotiators, gave the regime every single possible opportunity to abandon this unacceptable course by permanently giving up their nuclear ambitions in exchange for sanctioned relief, free nuclear fuel, and potential economic partnership in our country. Okay, so all in all, she just says the claim is false, argues that they did pose an imminent threat, doesn't tell us what the evidence is, and just repeats what we already know and what we've already heard about how evil Iran is, which is true. They live under an evil dictatorship, killing their citizens and chanting death to America. But does that mean that they posed an imminent threat? No. Kim Jong-un also likes to chant death to America. Is he an imminent threat? No. Okay, right? Let's just get that one clear. Let's get that one clear. Now, on top of that, well, we just got a really weird flag over on TikTok, you guys. It says, share responsibly on live, confirm sources before sharing and engaging with content. Ooh. That's how you know we're getting into some deep territories here that I don't think those who reside over the platform would like me to talk about too much. This is how you know it's true, you guys. If the U.S. director of counterterrorism is saying that we're only in this war because of Israeli pressure, and now I'm getting a flag on my TikTok live telling all of you guys to share responsibly and to confirm your sources, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? That's interesting. That's interesting. Now, the one thing we have left to touch on before we hop into the first debate of the day would be the last thing we just read from Caroline Leavitt's post, where she said the president, through his top negotiators, gave the regime in Iran every single possible opportunity to abandon this unacceptable course by permanently giving up their nuclear ambitions in exchange for a sanctioned relief, free nuclear fuel, and potential economic partnership with our country. This is a description of the agreement that Donald Trump pulled us out of during his first term because it had Obama's signature on it. One of the best things that Obama was able to do in reference to his foreign policy was to get Iran to enter into what was called the JCPOA. It was a denuclearization agreement, and we go over this every day on live, that forced Iran to deconstruct their nuclear enrichment mechanisms, that forced them to sell all of their enriched uranium, forced them to give us 300 in-person visits to all of their enrichment sites per year, and also forced them to give 24/7 access to online surveillance of all of their enrichment sites per year. That was a deal that was Iran giving up their nuclear ambitions in exchange for sanction relief, because in turn, we took some sanctions off their country and we gave them access to their bank account in South Korea with a couple $2 billion in it. So it seems like now Donald Trump is saying that the only reason why we're at war with Iran is because he couldn't achieve the deal that he pulled us out of during his first term. So he's saying it's his fault, inevitably. But Joe's saying that it's Israel's fault, Israel and Trump's fault. Now, we're going to go out and hop into the first debate of the day, folks. I'm going to keep you updated with this as we learn more. Once again, I think it's just crazy that, we got that warning on TikTok saying confirm sources before engaging with content. I think that really tells you that we're all on to something here. Villain, thank you for the manifesting. That should tell you that we're all on to something here. That's some crazy work, man. That's some crazy work. Before I pass the mic off to the first guest, a couple of people to thank real quick. First and foremost, Katharina, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love. That was the first donation of the day. Let's get 50 Katharina W's, as well as 200 Serena W's. That is SERENA. Thank you so much for the $20. Who says, hey, Dean, as always, I'm here for your daily support. Oh, thank you so much for the love, Serena. I hope that you enjoyed today's stream, and happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Dylan, thank you for the 50 cents as well over on Venmo. Cameron, thank you for the $3. Marissa, thank you for the $4. And with that, we're all caught up. Please do show some love to all of our donors down below in that chat. If you want to support me, Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio on TikTok. Appreciate you guys so much for all that support. Take it away. Tell us why you think that Donald Trump is a good president, Mr. Guest. I appreciate your patience. Just to kind of catch everyone over on YouTube up to speed. Before I went live, we did ask him why he supports Trump, just to ensure that he's actually MAGA. And in turn, he told us the reason why he's MAGA is because he thinks that inevitably, if Kamala Harris was elected, things would be worse off today than they already are. So I'm actually going to ask you for that argument right now. Please convince me and everybody else watching that if Kamala Harris had won the election, things would be worse than they already are.
Right. So, like I said before, things that the Democrat Party preaches, they want to raise minimum wage and free health care and taxing the rich. I don't believe in that at all, and I'm very against that stuff. But this is so
Wait. What are you specifically against?
free healthcare,
Why?
universal healthcare. So I had a conversation with someone who was on the left not long ago about this, and I'll give you a gist of what happened. I'll keep it short. So through my job, I get free healthcare, and I think this is where morality kicks into this conversation. So, someone who's for universal healthcare obviously has a different morality on this subject, on this topic than I do. It does sound right that everyone should have the right to free healthcare. It sounds, morally correct, but for me, you could call me selfish, and that's where I think the difference between you and someone on the left, from my personal experience, just my personal experience. I'm not generalizing. Just from people I've spoken to who are on the left, they think just because we have a difference in morality that I'm evil, just because I vote for what's best for me. I have free healthcare, so it doesn't affect me if someone else has free healthcare. I don't want to pay more taxes for someone else's healthcare, and that's just a difference in morality.
Well, hold on now.
There's nothing.
Hold on now. First and foremost, no one is saying that you, as the average American, should be paying more in taxes for everyone to have free healthcare.
Well,
no, that's not what we're saying at all. That's not what we're saying at all. What we'd say here is, A, we should reallocate the taxes that you're already paying, so we're not spending $1 trillion a year on the DoD, for instance. Send some of that to free healthcare for American citizens, America first, right? And then B, if we still need more taxable revenue in order to cover the bill, well, then we turn around and we ensure that we only raise taxes on A, the billionaires, and B, those that make over $400,000 per year.
Right, and how would you do that on the billionaires?
Wealth tax would be a great example.
On liquid or on assets?
I think it would be a combination of both.
Do you mind explaining?
Unrealized capital gains tax to an extent.
That was Harris's, right?
Those with over, those with over like 8 figures invested. Wouldn't it be a terrible thing? Then, of course, your liquid assets as well. And then, of course, raising personal income taxes slightly on those making over $400,000 per year. And what I'm so confused about is why this is the thing that made you say, well, I got to support Trump. Because you're telling us that you would rather have a 34-count felon, adjudicated rapist, that refused to give food stamps to 16 million American children, and is actively increasing taxes on the average American, likely including yourself. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, the purchasing power is going down for the average American. And is also destroying the economy because last year we had the worst jobs report since 2003, ignoring recessions, and the most manufacturing bankruptcy since 2008. It is also restarting war in the Middle East. He's already killed 174 children and is sending American servicemen and women to die, for Israel, by the way, all because Kamala Harris might have imposed free health care? I just feel like you have your priorities so backwards here. When you told me that the reason why you support Trump is because the Democrats would just be so much worse, I was going to get some conspiracy theory about how the Democrats want to hurt people, but instead you just tell us, well, you support the terrible tyrant destroying this country because the Democrats wanted to help people.
I don't think he's racist. If the evidence comes out that he was, doing those things in the files, then that's obviously wrong, and I'm not going to stand for that. But if that's until the evidence comes out, we see the emails, we know that he was associated with him, but we don't know for a fact, he did commit any crimes. We talk about the felony count. It was a civil case. I don't believe that if it was a criminal case, he would have been put in jail. And there's evidence out there saying that if it was a criminal case, he wouldn't have been put in jail because it was all testimonies. But I think you just nitpicked what I said. I said, I have health care. I vote for what's best for myself and my family. And you might just vote for what's best for Americans in general. But that's what you want to do, and that there's a difference between what I want to do and what you want to do. Just because we have a difference doesn't mean that I'm wrong. And I think that's
what I don't understand is you're telling us that you're against universal health care, not because it would hurt you, but because it wouldn't help you, knowing that it would help millions of others. We have 51,000 Americans that die every single year via lack of access to healthcare in this country. We pass universal healthcare. Thousands of people stay alive. By the way, you don't know that you're going to have your job for the rest of your life until the day you die. What happens if you're laid off?
I'm an essential worker,
what happens if your company goes under? You know what I mean? But once again, just to kind of repackage this in as little words as possible, you're telling us that you want policy that hurts you, like Trump's policy through the big beautiful bill that hurts you, okay, over policy that helps everyone else because it doesn't help you.
Trump's policies didn't hurt me.
Yes, they do. How much do you make per year?
I make around $150 per year.
Okay, $150 per year. So you're not going to be feeling the direct effects from the tax cuts because those only hurt people making under $51,000 per year. But you're going to be feeling the indirect effects of what happens when the average American is making significantly less, has less purchasing power because now they're spending less. Manufacturing bankruptcies are up. All-time high since 2008. Worst jobs report we're seeing on record. Gas prices are at a 3-year high. Okay, not to mention the jobs report monthly just continue to get worse and worse. Okay, because the markets are being destabilized by this new war in the Middle East, by the imposition of tariffs on our allies, and by the destructive policy through the big beautiful bill. These have negative reciprocal effects on you, not to mention the tariff bill that, although it is disproportionately picked up by those that make less than you, is also picked up by yourself. So you are absolutely experiencing second-order negative consequences of Trump policy. But the thing that you still haven't explained to me is why you disagree with universal health care so much, because it won't hurt you.
From the research I've done, there are flaws, and we do have free health care. It's just not universal. You know, Medicare and Medicaid.
So what's going to hurt you if we impose free health care?
It's not going to hurt me. It just doesn't affect me, so I don't care for it. Just like
no, because you told me that the reason that you support Trump as president is because Kamala Harris might have wanted free health care.
That was one of the reasons.
But why would that be a reason at all?
Because I don't want to pay any more taxes. And what'd you say?
But I already explained to you, we don't want you to pay more taxes. The people who would be paying more taxes are the billionaires and those that make over $400,000 per year. That was a tax policy that she ran on. You wouldn't be paying more one moment. You wouldn't be paying another dime in taxes in accordance with Kamala Harris's tax policy. The only people that she wanted to increase taxes on were making more than $500,000 per year. So can you acknowledge that if the Democrats won the election, you wouldn't be paying more in taxes?
Okay, so you said unrealized capital gains tax.
No,
correct?
Can you acknowledge that if the Democrats won the election, you wouldn't be paying more in taxes?
I'm against that. For people making over $500,000 should be paying more.
Wait, just answer my question. Can you acknowledge that if the Democrats won the election, you wouldn't be paying more in taxes?
I don't think that it's right. I'm against that. Even if she won the presidency and that was the law or a tax code, I'm against that. And I'm going to tell you why. Can
you acknowledge? One moment. I'm not hearing an acknowledgement here.
Okay, so
can you acknowledge that if Kamala Harris won the election, you wouldn't be paying more in taxes?
Okay. So yes, I wouldn't be paying more in taxes, and I'm also against people who make over $500,000.
Why would you be against that? You shouldn't care the same way you don't care about 51,000 low-income Americans dying every year via lack of access to health insurance, because apparently to you, the only person you care about is yourself. But now that we're talking about increasing taxes on the top 1%, you care about others than yourself, and you're Mr. Jesus 2.0 kumbaya. Let's go ahead and do whatever's in the best interests of the wealthy.
So unrealized capital gains tax, right? Would you say 8 figures it was?
Yeah, it would affect like 500 people in America.
Right. So you want to do that on that's on assets, correct?
It'd be on invested assets, yeah.
Okay. So I kind of just want to use simple numbers so I could explain myself.
But remember, this isn't like the tax that's going to be impacting people that make over $400,000 per year.
No, I know.
That's a tax that you said you disagree with.
Right.
And I'd like to know why you disagree with increasing taxes on people that make over $400,000 to increase access to social safety nets to reduce the debt and deficit.
Right. So, so you want me to talk about the unrealized capital gains tax first?
I'd prefer you to tell us why you don't think that there should be any tax increases on those that make over $400K per year.
Yeah, I just don't think it's fair.
Why?
Because just you being penalized for being successful, it just doesn't make sense to me.
First things first. Earlier, you said that you don't care that it's unfair that so many low-income Americans die every year because they don't have health care. The only person that you care about is yourself, so you don't think they should have health care because it could maybe personally negatively impact you. You
I never
literally
said I
just
don't think
described
they
to
should.
us
All
full
right,
and
so you
complete
just put
apathy.
two sentences
100
in my mouth.
muted. You described to us full and complete apathy as it related to those that have less than you. You said you don't care if it helps other people. I could call you selfish. You don't want to be paying more in taxes. You only vote in your self-interests. But now, as it relates to people maybe paying a little bit more in taxes that make over $400,000 per year, now it's all about fairness. Now it's all about caring about others. Now it's all about what is doing in the best interest of your neighbor. But not your poor neighbor, not the average American, only your super rich neighbor. And I find that to be very grotesque. Second thing, what is the average effective tax rate of the top 1%? Do you know?
I do not know the exact number, no.
17.5%. That's an effective tax rate that's lower than the average American. Why would it be unfair to ensure that the effective tax rate of the top 1% is at bare minimum higher than that of the average American?
See, I don't agree with that. I think that it should, if you shouldn't be paying substantially more taxes just because you make more money. I think it should be, a little bit over than, the tax brackets. Like, it shouldn't be a substantial number. But with the unrealized capital gains tax, you said you want to...
Wait, don't pivot to the unrealized capital gains now. Let's stick on just increasing the corporate... No, wait, sorry. The personal income taxes for those that make over $400K. So first and foremost, you just agreed that they should be at least paying a little bit more than the average American. So then therefore you do actually support finding a way to increase taxes on those in the top 1%, because right now they're not even paying as much as the average American proportionate to their income.
I don't know if that's true. I feel like that's not true.
Feel free to fact check me. The effective tax rate for the top 1% is lower than the effective tax rate for the average American.
Is it top 1% or is it over 400,000? Which one is it?
The top 1% is about the top 1% is $450,000 per year. So that is the top 1%.
Okay, so they pay 17% in taxes?
17.5% effective tax rate on average, yes.
And that's income tax or just taxes in general?
Taxes in general. Effective tax rate.
Okay, so I could fact check you, but I would have to go into teacup mode and bounce in and out, and I don't think you would want that. But I'll take your word for it.
Right.
If that's what it is, I think it's a loophole thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that we should do what we can to close those loopholes, because I think that inevitably somebody's going to be getting the short end of the stick when it comes to taxation. If we have a progressive taxation system, the rich people get the short end of the stick. If we have a flat or regressive taxation system, the poor people get the end of the stick. And I want to ensure that it's the rich people getting the short end of the stick when somebody has to get it, right?
So how do you fix the loopholes then?
Ask a tax professional, not me.
Well, Harris ran on unrealized capital gains tax.
Once
that
again,
was part of it.
That is a part of it, but you continue to want to go back to the unrealized capital gains tax. But can you now concede that you actually do support increasing taxes on those that make over $400,000 per year to pay for and fund social safety nets for the average American to prevent like 51,000 people per year from dying? Like, you understand that the reason why we wanted the reason why we wanted to like increase taxes on those making over $400,000 per year was to further fund a child tax credit to ensure that new families had what they need in order to ensure that their children won't starve. And that's really important because we already have 1 in 5 children in states like West Virginia starving. Okay.
Didn't Trump increase that? The child tax credit?
Yeah, he increased it significantly less than Kamala Harris wanted to.
Okay, so he increased it. Okay.
Significantly less than Kamala Harris wanted to, and you're the one arguing that if Kamala Harris won, things would be worse off.
Well, it's you got to go. There's not just one thing that you're picking one thing that we're talking about healthcare. There's a bunch of other things going on. It's just not a priority to me.
No, it's not a priority to you to help other people, but it is a priority.
It doesn't affect me, so why would I care? Just like LGBTQ community.
Wait, you do care though, because this is the reason you argued you support Trump.
No, that was part of the reason.
Exactly, so you do care.
It very little.
Okay, so then why was it the first thing that you argued insofar as why you support Trump as president?
I brought up like 3.
So what's the main reason why you support the authoritarian rapist as president?
I don't think he's a rapist.
That's what a court proved, my friend.
Well, would the criminal court have proved it? Because I don't think the criminal court...
That's what a civil court proved.
Right, it's a civil court, all on testimonies. Show me the evidence.
Okay, for sure. Wait, first, can you please name one piece of evidence?
In a case?
No, in the case. What was the
I
name of the
don't-
victim?
I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I know she wrote a book. I know that. And
Okay, so do you know her name?
No, I don't know the name off
So
the
if
top
you don't
of my
know her
head.
name and you don't know the evidence, then why do you know she was a liar?
Because the court system, you don't just go based off testimonies. There has to be some sort of evidence in a
Yeah,
criminal
but
case.
how do you know that they didn't have any evidence?
How do you know? Because I've researched that part. I've looked it up. If this was a criminal case,
if you've researched that part, then you'd be able to name a piece of evidence, and you can't.
because there was no evidence.
Okay, well that's not true.
Show me
I mean,
evidence.
that's not something anyone would acknowledge. Even Donald Trump's attorneys would acknowledge that there is.
Show me the evidence.
One moment, that there's multiple pieces of evidence that were submitted by E. Jean Carroll, that's her name, and her attorneys to the court. Right?
Yes, that was her name.
So that claim that there was no evidence is false. Okay, the reason why you can't name any evidence is because you didn't research the case.
So what was the evidence?
I'll happily tell you in a moment as soon as you admit that you didn't research the case.
I very briefly did.
Okay, and you know through your brief research that you can't recall whatsoever, okay, that she was a liar and the court got it wrong.
I'm not saying she was a liar, but who knows?
It is what you're saying.
The evidence would prove her right or wrong.
Well, the evidence proved you're right. Let's go over that now.
Okay.
So first we had the direct evidence submitted inside of the court case, like therapist notes from the 90s, where she indicated she was raped by Donald Trump, that were consistent and aligned with her own testimony alongside the testimony of 4 other women, 2 of them being her friends, then 2 of them also being other women with similar stories about Trump. Okay, we also had the inconsistencies and contradictions that were true of Donald Trump's testimony in that court case, such as the fact that he lied about saying he never met her, which she then responded by providing a picture of them together to the court. He also lied about saying that he would never do that to her because she wasn't his type, but then confused a photo of his ex-wife Marla Maples to be E. Jean Carroll, so she was his type. The third big piece of evidence here is that she actually claimed to have the dress that she was raped in by Trump and claimed it had his DNA on it. And then she submitted it to the court got it DNA tested, proved it had male DNA on it. And then in response, Donald Trump said, well, shit, I'm not going to give my DNA. I don't want my DNA tested against the DNA in the dress. Then the judge pushed and pushed and pushed for him to submit his DNA to the court for 2 years. And he still said, no, 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 no. But my thing is,
he didn't have to.
if he never met her, okay, if he never raped her, then his DNA wouldn't be on that dress, and that would have proved his innocence. So that's another really big data point of evidence here. And then the third, in my mind, most compelling data point of evidence here, insofar as why I believe E. Jean Carroll, is because in 2005, he said that he likes to do what the jury proved he did to her. He said on the Access Hollywood tapes that he could just grab women by their vaginas without asking first. The jury determined that he grabbed E. Jean Carroll by her vagina and inserted his fingers inside without asking first. Not to mention that this isn't the first time he's been found guilty of sexual violence. He admitted to sexual violence through the form of sexual exploitation to Howard Stern on his radio show in 2005, where he said it was really funny when he'd go and sexually exploit the naked women and the naked girls that were competing at his beauty pageants.
So why do you think 75 million people voted for him? If he's
Why do you think that you're evading a response to the evidence in which I provided?
I mean, I think it was a load.
Well, it looks like God cut your mic, so maybe try again. Repeat that for me. Maybe he's gone. Guys, I think that... Oh, he's back?
I'm sorry, I took a phone call real quick.
Okay, I heard because I think it's a load and then you got cut.
Yeah, I think, some things of what he says and what she says, I don't think that's clear evidence.
Okay, so this is just like the low IQ lazy response, which is where you don't really digest anything that I shared with you. In fact, I would argue you likely didn't even listen, and then you just respond by saying, I don't think it's clear.
You said a lot.
So let's just highlight one data point of evidence here. Okay, a car was broken into. We have 2 suspects. This first suspect has no criminal record, and then the second suspect has a criminal record, yes, of burglarizing 15 different cars. Who would be more likely to be guilty?
More likely, the person who's stolen 15 cars.
Right. So engaging in an action once significantly increases your likelihood of doing it again. And this is exactly why I like to point towards.
But that doesn't prove that they stole the car.
Well, that's not my only data point of evidence, numbnuts. I had another 15, but you said it was too much for you.
Why didn't you say it then? Why didn't you say the evidence there? You just made a claim, said who's more likely, and I said who's more likely, but that doesn't prove that they did it. And
well, do you think that an argument to prove something to be the case is one offhand sentence, or do you think an argument to prove something to be the case would be the culmination of multiple data points of evidence to indicate a demonstrable conclusion here?
But that's not evidence.
It absolutely is evidence. It absolutely is,
not.
Dude.
I think we have different definitions of evidence.
You just agreed that it would significantly increase one's likelihood of engaging in an action. So, of course, would work in building the foundation of an argument to demonstrate that Donald Trump did it. So, once again, we already know that he's at a significantly higher likelihood.
But it doesn't prove they did it.
Okay, sir. So you could continue to, cut me off and act like a petulant man-child all you want. It's definitely not going to further your own point in this argument whatsoever. So do you want to, sit back and maybe act your age?
You're saying just because they did it, they did it before that, it means that they did it again. That doesn't. They got to prove it.
Let me try to communicate to you what I'm saying, because clearly you don't understand. I don't mind trying to hold your hand. The point that I'm trying to communicate here is that we have multiple. Okay, go ahead and laugh. That's fine. That's what dumb people do when they're losing an argument.
No, I'm not losing an argument. You sound like a moron. You're saying just because someone did it before means they did it again.
Wait, I have a question. When you said that I sound like a moron, were you like looking in a mirror, or was it directed towards me?
There's no way. That was so corny. So corny.
Was it just about as corny as you arguing that you'd stop supporting Trump if you knew who's guilty of sexual violence, but you're still up him defending him to the death after killing 174 girls in Iran and boasting about sexually exploiting the naked bodies of women and girls? Was that corny?
I said guilty in
that wasn't corny. That was evil, right? But anyways, to just try to make the point in which I was before you interrupted me about 4 times in a row, which, no worries. I forgive you. That's what people do when they start
losing. You think it's corny that just because...
Oh, he's going again. It's okay, man. So I have a mute button. It's kind of like, putting a binky in the mouth of a petulant toddler. It's just kind of what you do when they start crashing out, so I don't mind doing it to you. But anyways, to get back to the point that I was trying to make. So yeah, the fact that Donald Trump admitted to the sexual exploitation of the naked women and girls at Miss Teen USA and Miss USA absolutely increases the likelihood that he raped E. Jean Carroll, because that's something a rapist would do. The fact that he was best friends with Epstein, knowing what Epstein was doing and sending him birthday letters depicting the naked body of a girl with the statement, "May every new day be another wonderful secret," increases the likelihood that he raped E. Jean Carroll, because that's something a rapist would do. The fact that Donald Trump was named by Jeffrey Epstein in a letter to another child sex pest, Larry Nassar, as sharing their affiliation for young sexually attractive girls increases the likelihood that he raped E. Jean Carroll, because that's something a rapist would do. Okay? Him getting secretly recorded on the Access Hollywood tape saying that he could just grab women by the vaginas without asking first significantly increases the likelihood that he raped E. Jean Carroll, because that's what the jury ruled he did. And then when we also consider her own testimony, being corroborated by the testimony of 3 others, the 2 inconsistencies in the court case on behalf of Trump that I've already repeated, ranging from him lying about never meeting her, saying and lying about her not being his type, also in consideration of the therapist notes and the dress in which she submitted to the court with male DNA in it, that Donald Trump responded to by not submitting his own, absolutely demonstrably proves that, yes, Donald Trump did rape E. Jean Carroll. So let's just go ahead and hear the nuh-uh argument. It's fine. It's fine. Embarrass yourself a little bit. Go for it, buddy. Well, maybe we won't hear that after all, because I think the little guy's running away. That's what they do. Yep. Okay. He's gone. He must have ran. All right, let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. We'll leave him on the live to see if the little bro wants to come back. We don't mind. We don't mind. Oh no, he just left. All right.
I will literally pay for your pup cup, bro.
Okay, you are a weirdo. Let's go and get that next guest loaded up into the box, guys. Only up inside of the cube. You happen to be MAGA. That little guy ran away. There he goes. That's what they do. All right, let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the live right now. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
What time is it?
It's 8 o'clock for me.
All right, you got to be American in order to stay on the stream. Let me thank a couple people in Super Chat real quick. Jackal Bear, thank you so much for the 5, who says, these people never imagined getting a medical condition that would prevent them from working. What happens if he loses his job? Right? That's a really good point. Mr. Monkey, appreciate you so much for the $5 as well. SR, thank you for the 5. Crystal, thank you for the 5. And then Riley, thank you for the $5 as well. Thank you guys so much for the love. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Only hop inside of the queue. If you happen to be MAGA, please and thank you. I'd really appreciate it if you do your best to abide by the rules. Want to support me, you can through the link tree in my bio, Venmo, PayPal. You already know it. Thank you guys so much for all the support. And Thorough, appreciate you so much for that Galaxy. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
You're doing God's work, Dean. I love you.
I appreciate you so much for the love. I'm not going to ban you. However, I am going to start banning people that come up here in violation of our rules. So let's just go to get that next guest loaded up in here right now. Hi, do you support Trump? Oh, looks like they're leaving as well, guys. Make sure if you're in that queue that you're ready to debate. If you're not ready to debate, just leave that queue right now. If you're not ready to debate, just leave that queue right now. I appreciate you guys so much for following the rules. It means the world. Moving on to Levi. Here we go. Yo, Callie! Thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Callie, that is crazy. That is Callie. I want all of y'all to show some love to Callie down below in that chat. Callie with the 50 says, I've been watching for years. You encouraged me to get involved, and now I'm the chair of my county Young Dems. If anybody's looking for community, look up your local Young Democratic groups. That's awesome, Callie. I'm so proud of you. Good shit, dude. Show some love to Callie down below in that comment section. I'm seriously so proud of you. I think that you're the second person to tell me that the streams have inspired you to get involved, and that now you're the leader of some local Democratic organization. So I think it's so cool, man, that what we do here is able to inspire others to get out there and do something in their community. Huge shout out to you, Callie. Seriously. Wesley, thank you for the $12 as well. He says, even if universal healthcare raised taxes, it would be cheaper. He's already paying for others and Medicaid taxes and his premiums. Making premiums tax-based is progressive. Premiums are regressive because they're flat rates. I couldn't agree more, Wesley. That would have been a really good point for me to make. Thank you for the $12. And also just thank you for bringing that up. Huge shout out to you. Show some love to Wesley down below in that comment section. I think that we do have maybe 2 people over on PayPal. Yeah, Sean, thank you so much for the $40, man. Let's get 400 Sean W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for the $40, Sean. Sean with a 40 says, love what you do, Dean. You educate me while I'm at work, so I felt like I had to donate to share my wages. Nah, man, you never need to do that. Seriously, what you're doing is much needed. Critical thinking needs more importance in America lately. That's exactly what we were talking about last night when we were on Andy Bashir's pod, was just about how important critical thought is, and maybe one of the reasons why we are where we are is because Americans don't critically think enough. Ramona, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Huge shout out to you. Leela, thank you for the 5. Brody, thank you for the 5. And Local Love, thank you for the $5 as well. We're all caught up. Appreciate you guys so much for the love. If you want to support me in the stream, you can find the Venmo and the PayPal, the link tree in the bio. Appreciate you guys. And then Camilla, thank you so much for the rainbow coming. All right, you mute, you lose. You ready to get pushed? Maybe he's leaving. Oh, he's back.
No. Just give me 10 seconds. I'm pulling in right now.
You're pulling in right now. How do you feel about Donald Trump fighting a war for Israel? Is that America first? 10, 9, 5, 3.
I just had to pull in somewhere, dude.
Okay,
calm down. Pulled in? You want me to talk to you while driving? Yeah, I'm where I'm supposed to be. Yeah.
Awesome. So how do you feel about Donald Trump sending American servicemen and women to die for Israel? Is that America first?
That is the dumbest point ever, bro.
Can you answer the question?
It's not for Israel, but okay.
Well, I mean, that's what Joe Kent, the U.S. Director of Counterterrorism, said today after he resigned.
Well, I don't care what he has to say. And also there was talks about him being a huge leaker. And not only that, but let me ask you this real quick.
Wait, you don't care about what the Director of Counterterrorism has to say?
Okay, let me just tell you why I don't care what this person has to say.
The
because
US
first
Director
and foremost,
of Counterterrorism, by the way.
Wow, just interrupted me. Wow. So if he actually cared about actual terrorism and everything else, why would he just abandon his job without actually having a replacement and just leaving the U.S. without a counterintelligence director instead of doing the responsible thing and actually giving a notice so that way somebody could fill his role instead of just resigning, leaving us without a a terror director? Why?
Well,
why would somebody be so irresponsible? If they cared about actually America's safety, why would somebody just abandon their duty and not just do the right thing versus I don't agree with the president on this? And then not only that, but to sit there and say that Iran wasn't a direct threat. Why did Iran have 80,000 suicide drones built up in their system? What do you think that was for, Dean? Do you think that was just because they wanted them, or do you think they were doing something with those?
Okay. So first and foremost, I also criticize Joe for resigning, not for the same reason you do, but rather because he should have fought the system from the inside. But clearly the reason why he did resign is because he was appalled. He was so appalled. He was supposed to be the director of counterintelligence. Well, I guess you interrupt, you lose. You interrupt, you lose, right? He was completely appalled.
You're talking
he was
to me
supposed
about
to
an
be the U.S.
irrelevant point. I
director
don't care about
of counterterrorism. Okay. And in response, the classified reports
Is
that
he God,
he would
Dean?
run.
Is he God?
Well, are you gonna stop interrupting?
Is this dude like the
real
best
man?
dude ever or something? Is this dude like the say all be all for everything?
Do you
Should
have
my
the ability
opinion
to,
matter what this
quite
dude
frankly,
thinks?
allow me to finish?
No, you're putting everything
No,
on
you're
this
not gonna
dude.
allow me to
Like
finish.
he's somebody
Well,
that's just like
if
just
you
so.
can't shut the hell up, I'm just gonna have to move on to the next guest. There's only one way to try to have a debate,
Then
and
move
that
on.
would
You
be to
concede
allow
you've
me.
lost.
Okay. So
That's
if I
all you-
kick you, I concede I lose. But if I tell you that I'm going to kick you because you won't let me speak more than 2 words, that doesn't matter? Is that really your debate tactic? Is to just la 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 against the other person when they're talking, and then when they kind of get sick of it and kick you, like then you just claim victory? Dude, that's some pathetic shit, man. Oh my God, I feel
No,
like
Dean,
the only type of people who'd use that debate tactic are like 4-year-olds, man. Come on, you got to be 18 plus to join the stream, man. We're not here to debate 4-year-olds, man. Do better, bro. Come on, just let me finish my sentence, okay? Unmute your mic. I don't want to control you. I want you to control yourself.
Go ahead, Dean. Finish with your stupid point.
Go ahead. Good.
No, you're bringing up an irrelevant
God,
argument
God.
just to try to get these quick gotchas.
So you admit that I gotcha.
Why should this dude resign?
So you admit that I gotcha.
His little theories.
Wait, just to clarify, you admit
didn't.
that I gotcha.
It's a stupid. This is what you do. You don't know what you're talking about with anything, so you try to go. Oh man, somebody resigned. Shouldn't that tell you something about something? Like it's stupid. This guy's obviously whacked out of his mind. There's plenty of people talking about how he would actually leak stuff, and not only that, but if his intentions were pure, why would he just abandon his post instead of actually getting somebody to fulfill that post, especially such a crucial post? I mean, obviously he doesn't care about what is going on.
Is it Groundhog Day? Because we're just like doing the same thing over and over again. That's the last point you made that I was trying to respond to, and then you interrupted
It's dumb,
me to
Dean. It's a
repeat
dumb
yourself?
point. It's a dumb point. Can we move on to actually something? If you want to talk about the Iran war,
I'm
then
kinda,
talk
like,
about it.
confused. Before we move on, I'd like to respond to what you said. Like, hello?
About such a low IQ argument? Like my opinion should matter what this dude thinks? Is that what you're saying, Dean?
You're calling it low IQ for why?
Because, Dean, you're basically saying, like, your opinion should be the same as this guy's opinion. Well, my opinion isn't the same as his opinion, Dean. I don't agree with him.
Yeah, but we should.
That's the
take
whole
a look at his
argument, Dean.
opinion
You're
and then
trying to
talk about it.
argue.
Oh, there he goes again.
You're trying to argue just because somebody
right.
quit their job because they have some type of feelings towards something
Right.
that I should feel the same way. Like, no,
Right. Well, here's what
I
I'm
shouldn't.
saying.
I should have my own mind.
Well, here's what
It
I'm
doesn't
saying.
matter what this dude thinks.
It does matter what this dude thinks because he was
It
the
absolutely
direct...
has no bearing on my life right now.
Okay. Do you have any level of self-control?
Do you have any level of intelligence?
I do. Can you
Okay,
answer my question?
so no, this whole Judge
No.
Mershon thing that you were talking yesterday about, you were completely gaslighting, and I want to get to that.
Well, before we get to that, we have to finish this.
No, we don't, because it's a dumb argument, Dean.
Okay. Well, if you want to have another argument, feel free to go have that argument with someone else, not me. I think
Yeah,
that
you're
Parker-
scared. You're
I think that-
scared. You're
I think that
scared.
you're the one that's scared. You're the one that doesn't want to debate me on the point that you made. Hello?
Because it's a dumb point. Like your
Then why
whole
did you make
argument
it?
with this.
If it was
Dean,
so
your
stupid, then why did you make it?
Dean, you're the one that made this topic. You're the one that brought this up. You're the one that wanted to
I'm
talk
the one
about
that brought up
somebody
the breaking news,
resigning.
but
That I
then
have
you're
no.
the one that said that we shouldn't care. I want to tell you why you should care if you can shut your mouth for more than 3 seconds. Good boy. Now to get on to why you should care. This wasn't just some random man, okay? This was the director of the National Counterterrorism Center. And he wasn't some liberal. He wasn't some Democrat. He wasn't some rhino. He is a pro-Trump MAGA conservative. Let's go ahead and read off Donald Trump's statement about his appointment of Joe Kent to be the director of the National Counterterrorism Center. from last year, February of 2025. This is Trump on Truth Social. He says, "It is my pleasure to nominate Joe Kent as the director of the National Counterterrorism Center. As a soldier, Green Beret, and CIA officer, Joe has hunted down terrorists and criminals his entire adult life. Above all, Joe knows the terrible cost of terrorism, losing his wonderful wife, Shannon, a great American hero who was killed in the fight against ISIS. Joe continues to honor her legacy by staying in the fight. Joe will help us keep America safe by eradicating all of the terrorism from the jihadists around the world to the cartels in our own backyard. Congratulations, Joe." Okay? Now, this man has spent the last year of his life working as the director of counterterrorism. He's not just the one reading the classified reports with all of the information that you and I don't have access to.
I know, Dean. I know
He's the
all
one
this. Go ahead and make.
making the classified reports
You're not
with all
making
the
a point,
information
dude.
that you and I don't have access to. Now, if this pro-Trump, pro-MAGA conservative that is loved by Donald Trump himself, who lost his wife in a fight against ISIS, I think that her car was blown up by a bomb, okay, is now leaving the Trump administration and resigning from his position as the National Director of Counterterrorism by stating that he cannot in good conscience support what's going on because the classified intel tells us that Iran poses no imminent threat. And it's clear that we started
Where
this
did it
because of
say that
Israel.
classified information?
Okay. And then on top of
You
that,
literally just.
in Caroline Leavitt's response, the press secretary, she just says that Joe is wrong, but then gives us no good reason to believe that he's wrong because she never describes the imminent threats. And then doesn't even mention the pressure from Israel here, which, by the way, we've also heard to be affirmed by Marco Rubio. I think the point becomes clear. What I've been saying all along, what a lot of people have been saying all along, about how Israel wants us to fight their wars for them, okay, told the U.S. that they're going to strike Iran regardless if they liked it or not, okay, and that's going to pull the U.S. into the fight if they like it or not, knowing that Donald Trump is a shield to Netanyahu, that we absolutely should not support this conflict because not only is it a violation of Donald Trump's promise of no new wars, okay, but it is also an unprecedented bend of the knee to give our young servicemen and women and their lives to another country to die in the name of Israel and kill 174 girls in the process. Which, by the way,
so
is such a
since you
fucking
made,
war crime.
can I talk now? Can I talk now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to sit here and actually talk about how there was there was classified information. Where in any statement that he gave did he say due to classified information that I've seen, there was no critical threat from Iran? Is that in any of his statement? Can you point to anywhere where he said that?
Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation.
Can you tell me where he said, due to classified information, what you just said that he said a second ago, that is what you said, that he viewed classified information, and based upon that classified information, he determined that Iran was wasn't an imminent threat. Can you show me where he said that in his statement?
That's the information that he'd be using to build his.
Okay, so you made that up. You can't
counterterrorism.
provide it. You made that up. Let me finish my points. You
I
made
didn't
that
make
up.
anything up. That's the information that he'd be using to build his opinion as the
I just-
U.S. Director of Counterterrorism.
Okay, this is what you guys do. You guys mute as soon as you guys start making up lies and people call you out. Secondly, right, the fact
wasn't
that
a lie.
multiple. Wow, interrupted. Yes, it was a lie, right?
No,
Because
it wasn't.
nowhere in his statement, put $1,000 on it right now. That somewhere in his statement he said that he had classified information that he's seen that showed that Iran was no imminent threat.
He doesn't need to say that in the statement because it's self-implied by
You
his job
said
role.
that he said that, Dean. You said that he said that.
He says that Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and clearly that's going to be an
Well, I'm just
opinion
gonna
which is
keep getting-
informed by classified information.
I'm
due
just
to the
gonna
fact
take-
that he was the U.S. Director of Counterterrorism. Like,
This
duh.
shows your weakness, dude. This shows your weakness on
I think
how
it just
you
shows
get-
your cortisol
act-
mixing.
No, it just shows your weakness because you're straight up, you're lying, and then you're having your moderators mute.
Wait,
This is what
can
you
we-
guys
can we-
always
wait,
do.
Yes or no? Can we agree that the U.S. Director of Counterterrorism would have access to classified information surrounding our engagement in Iran?
Would he have all classified information?
About
or just
like,
on
about
terror?
terrorism? about
And
about threats that Iran would pose to America, would the U.S. Director of Counterterrorism have access to classified information surrounding the counter-terroristic threats posed by Iran towards America? Yes or no?
He would have terrorism, yes. But, okay, Dean, think about what you
Yes,
just said.
thank you, exactly. So yeah, this is the guy,
Wow,
out of any of the guys, this is the guy who would have access to the classified information surrounding the potential terroristic threat that Iran posed to America. So if the guy that directs the agency that would have access to the classified information surrounding the threat in which they would pose to America is saying that they don't pose a threat to America, then clearly it would be self-implied that that is an opinion that is in part built on the classified information that he had access to.
Okay, can I respond? And I'm going to tell you this right now. If your moderators mute me again, that's an unequivocally showing that you concede this debate because your moderators won't let me talk. There's no debate if you won't let me talk. I see what you're doing. Your moderators are trying to mute me to try to get me like stirred up to make you look good, but it honestly just shows that you're failing, right? So real quick, who is he actually under? Can you tell me who he's under?
Hey, sorry, what was the last thing that you said? Sorry, guys. For everybody watching, I did have to quickly unplug my mic. My girlfriend called me. She got a lost tire, so sorry, not a lost tire, flat tire. So I just had to quickly talk through things with her. Yeah, got that taken care of. So she's gonna move it like 10 feet just to a place where it could stay parked all night because thankfully it got a flat tire in a place with good parking lots. And then got her
So
ride
who
home,
was this guy? Who was this guy under? What department was he under? Just tell me that.
She was the director of U.S.
What
counterterrorism.
department? Okay, so what agency was he under? Let me ask that.
What's that?
What agency was he under?
That worked under National Intelligence and Tulsi Gabbard, the DNI.
Okay, so would the CIA, would any of these agencies have actual like information on like the buildup, the setup, and like war plans as far as like Iran? Would they have all that information? Yes or no?
They could maybe / likely / probably have access to like classified information.
So maybe, right? So maybe.
What?
So
No,
maybe there was stuff
Please
that.
allow me to finish talking. They would have access to classified information surrounding war
Okay,
plans,
this
as
is-
it would be relevant to like threats.
Hey,
of
I won.
terrorism.
I'm leaving. I'm
Yeah, you're leaving because you
leaving.
lost.
I'm not doing this mute shit with
I
your
know,
mods.
you're leaving 'cause you
No,
lost, I
because
get
you won't even let me finish my points.
Well, actually,
no,
you interrupted my point.
You won't let me finish my points.
You actually interrupted my point.
No, you don't let me finish my points.
actually don't let me-
I'm
me
asking you
finish my point.
questions
You
to then
interrupted my point.
then build my point, but you
Yeah,
won't let me finish.
You interrupted my point.
And your mods
You could
obviously
run.
just
You
cost
could run.
this.
You could
if
run
you
if
honestly
lost.
want to have
It's
a
okay.
debate,
No, it's okay, bro. You could run if you lost. It's okay. It's okay.
hey, if you actually ever want to actually
No,
debate where you don't
we're
have mods,
doing
and we
that
have an
right
actual
now, but you could
moderator,
run if
I'd
you listen.
fucking own you.
Like I said, you
No,
could
'cause
run
you're
if you
just-
lost.
You're doing
You
this
could run.
mute shit,
You could
dude,
run.
and this is why this is
It's
my
okay.
name.
It's okay,
You
bro.
guys-
You
guys
could
mute
run
to-
if you lose. It's okay. It's if you lost, feel free to leave. Oh wow, he just accepted the L. How kind of him. Let's get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. All right, here we go. By the way, somebody down in the chat said go up your girlfriend. Luckily, a family member happens to live like literally 5 minutes away from her, who is free right now because we're actually supposed to go see him, but then had to reschedule until later. So that's good. That's good. And then once I'm done with my stream, we'll get that taken care of. Hi, Audi.
Sorry, my brother's really MAGA. Oh, my brother's 18. I'm gonna give the phone to him so he can debate with you because I'm not 18, but my brother's no.
Okay. Feel free.
He's like really MAGA. He also we're Persian, we're Iranian. So yeah, he thinks you're a communist. But okay, I'm gonna give the phone to him right now. Here, Ash, go talk. Ash, talk.
You can just take her off of this. I don't know what she's doing.
Okay, sorry.
Moving on to the next guest. Guys, please only come up here and have me debate other people if like they're down to debate. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now, guys. Only up inside of that cube if you happen to be MAGA. Only up inside of the cube if you happen to be MAGA. And then AA, thank you so much for the $5 over on Super Chat. Appreciate you so much for that love, AA. AA with the 5 says, this is specifically earmarked for Momo treats. She's the true star of the streams. Oh, Momo, I should have left my office door open so she'd be able to get in here. Hi, welcome into Sport Trump.
Hey, my apologies. Joined by mistake.
No worries, you take care, dude. Moving on to the next guest. Moving on to the next guest right now. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up into the box right now. We got HP19. Hi, do you support Trump?
Hi. Hi.
That'd be a very small child. That'd be a very small child. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. We got Levi Box. It's literally Mr. Box himself connecting to the live stream. Mr. Box is in the box. I do support Trump. Oh, apparently Mr. Box did not want to be in the box and he left. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now, folks. Oh, never mind. There he is. Levi, do you support Trump?
My bad. Hey, nah, man, but hey,
Beast! Moving on. Let's go to get that next guest up here. Let's go to get that next guest up here. Only up inside of that queue of your MAGA. Only up inside of that queue of your MAGA. We got Noah connecting into the live stream right now. Perfect. If you want to support me, if you want to support the live, by the way, you can buy my Venmo and PayPal. Linktree in bio on TikTok. Linktree in bio on TikTok. Hi, do you support Trump? Noah, do you support Trump?
Hey, stop hitting your vape, bro. We know it's...
All right, that's like a 4-year-old, bro. Hop out. Moving on. Guys, follow the rules. You got to be 18 plus, American to MAGA. Over on Vimeo, CELI, thank you so much for the $5. Who says, hey, Dean, I've been loving the streams. Good to hear. Thank you so much for the 5. As well as Mr. Nolan. Thank you so much for the $30 donation over on Venmo. Show some love to Nolan down below in that comment section. Appreciate you so much for that love, Nolan. Nolan with the 30 says, I missed a couple of days by him reciting it should show you something isn't okay about this war, right? Thank you so much for the $30, Nolan. Let's get, resigning it should show you that something isn't okay about this war. Absolutely, dude. Thank you so much for the $30 and the complete truth nuke. Show some love to Nolan down below. Sarah, thank you for the 5, who says for caring about others. Thank you so much for that love. Jordan, thank you for the 5 for educating the uneducated. Appreciate you so much. And the one last one over here on Venmo, Miss Carrie. Thank you so much for the $50 donation on Venmo, Miss Carrie. Oh my God. It is good to see you again. I hope that you're having a great day, Carrie. Let's get 500 Carrie W's down below in that comment section. Carrie with the 50 says, this is the first time my phone has notified me that you're alive in over a week. Carrie. If you want really consistent notifications, I would highly recommend that you join my updates channel and my Instagram account. That is a way to stay in the loop and to get that notification every day. But thank you for the love. Let's get 500 Carrie W's down below. Couple people to catch up with over on PayPal. First and foremost, Kai, appreciate you so much for the $14 on PayPal. He says, yo, somebody get the door. Got to open up the door for Momo. Is that what we're hearing? Appreciate you so much for the $14, Kai. That is K-A-I. Mr. Brent, thank you for the 15, who says, up to you if you want to read this out loud. The guest, if you lose, was or is a service member and shouldn't be debating while having Army-related content on his profile. I think that that only applies if he's active duty. But thank you so much for the $15, Brent. Taylor, thank you for the $10, who says, have you seen the clip where Donald Trump calls Gavin Newsom president? I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it. He's so fucking incoherent, bro. And then Jason, thank you so much for the $20, man. Let's get 200 Jason W's, who says, for having the patience to try to talk some kind of sense into people clearly living in bizarro land. I do not have that gift. Keep up the great work. Thank you, man. I try my best, dude. It really does take a lot of patience. And then just 2 more. First one from Jennifer. Thank you for the $10 on PayPal. Jennifer didn't leave a message, just the love. Thank you so much. And then one last big one here. Tyler, thank you so much for the $65 $4 donation over on PayPal. Oh my God, bro. That is so incredibly kind of you. I want to see 700 Tyler W's down below in that chat. Tyler with the 64 bucks says, hey, Dean, some guy across the world is threatening to sue me. I'm not worried. I'm just going to chill until the authorities show up at my house. Link from TikTok. Well, what did you do, Tyler? The hell did you do? Tell the class. Tell us all. As well as H, thank you for the €6 over on YouTube. Appreciate you, H. And with that, we're all caught up. Show some love to all the donors down below. If you want to support me, support the stream, support what we do here, so we can continue to do it for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, you could actually find the Venmo and the PayPal in the link tree in the bio. Appreciate you guys so much for all the love. It's also in the pin message over in that YT stream, and the handle is up at the top of the phone. All right, let's go get that next guest loaded in here right now. We got David joining. All right, moving on to the next guest right now. That guest didn't join. Let me know if you're MAGA down below in that comment section, and I'll accept you up in here. All right.
Hey, Dean, how's it going?
Hey, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Oh, it's just you.
Yeah.
It's you, the Nazi. All right, let's gonna get the next guest loaded up in here right now. We got Fast Break loading in. Yeah, guys, I need to send a voice message real quick. Give me 1 second.
Damn myself. I know I should. Put some damn butt up there.
Hi, welcome in. Do you support Trump? Hello? Okay, this person isn't here. All right, moving on to the next guest. Whatever. I thought I just heard them. Moving on to the next guest. Only up inside of the queue of your MAGA, please and thank you. Only up inside of the queue of your MAGA, please and thank you. Do follow our rules. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would do the very best you can to follow the rules, please and thank you. Hi, do you support Trump?
Hey, man. Hey,
Support
man.
Trump? Do you support Trump?
Obviously, yeah, because I love Trump to being a president of the United States of America, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What time is it?
I'm from Malaysia, obviously.
Okay.
Because
well,
we live
we're just looking to talk to people in America, so you do take care. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in here. All right. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up in here right now. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yes, indeed.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
What year were you born in?
2004. I'm 21.
No, we're 21. March 14th, 2005. March 14th, 2005? That's 21. Dean, come on. And my birthday just passed.
Wait, why did you say that you're 19?
Because we were joking.
And also, it was like on the spot. It was a lot for me. I had to like come up with something quick.
I mean,
are you looking at my page?
Yeah, it says that you go to LSU.
Yeah, I'm 21. Who's that?
Yeah, I mean, it says that you go to LSU.
Yes. Dean, did you go to college?
How many credit? Yeah, Boulder for 2 years. How many credit hours are you doing per semester?
About 18. Ooh,
Well,
yes.
I mean, yeah, that's kind
Big
of.
fan, Dean, big
I
fan.
just gotta ask you a couple questions to
Yeah.
to determine that you actually are the age you say you are.
Yeah.
What's your major?
I'm a journalism major.
You're a what?
Journalism?
Okay, tell me something about a journalism major that I wouldn't know.
I don't know, Dean. You know a lot of shit, for real. Well, you can look up one of my professors. I wouldn't know this if I didn't go. If you want to actually do some research.
Okay, yeah, sure. Actually, don't name like one of your professors, but like name a professor at LSU.
We're gonna go Cindy Carter.
Yeah, why? I'm sorry. You are clear. Okay, yeah, you're a college student. You're clearly over the age of 18. I've just never had somebody like accidentally
Dean,
say
open the door
wrong-
for Momo, they say.
Right. So now, why are you a Trump supporter?
You see, like, I feel like, honestly, I got that stimmy the first round, and I was thinking I was going to get a second stimmy, but it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, you did. You did get a second stimmy under Biden.
I did, for real?
Wait, no, you didn't because you were a kid. Liar. Moving on to the next guest. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. By the way, Momo's not at my door for everybody asking. She likes to sleep in my closet because I just have like a little pile of like the dirty clothes in one of the corners. It's a very small, neat pile, by the way. But she likes to hop on top of that pile and sleep. So she's sleeping. It's not like she's like clawing at the door outside trying to come in. Hi, do you support Trump? Okay, Aaron's not here. Oh my God, bro. These people suck today, dude. Follow the rules. You got to be an American adult that's pro-Trump. Is Parker still alive, by the way, guys? Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do, Dean.
How old are you?
40.
Okay, 1 second. Wanna come co-host? I'm actually just gonna send Parker an invite to come co-host on mine. 40? All right. And you said that you support Trump. Do you mind if I just take a moment real quick to thank a handful of people?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. On Venmo, Trey, thank
Are
you so
sure
much
it's
for the
gonna be a minute,
$5.
or do you think it's going to be like 3 minutes?
No, it'll just be a minute.
All right.
Trey with the 5 says that this is still like Momo. And Brooke, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate you. Tracy, thank you for the $5, who says wanted to wish you a good day. Thank you so much, Tracy. And then Nolan and Jordan, thank you for the $5 and the $3. And then Richard, thank you for the $5 for a beer after the stream. Appreciate you so much for the love. Huge shout out to you, man. Quickly over on PayPal, thank you so much, Norma, for the $10. She says, I watch you every day. Today is my 61st birthday. Happy birthday, Norma. Let's get 500 Norma W's down below in that comment section. I hope that you have a great 61st birthday. Also, guys, if you do want to support me, you can find them in the pin message over on the YT stream. Okay. You can also find them in the link tree in the bio, Venmo, PayPal. Y'all already know it. And the handle's also right there. Appreciate you guys so much for all the love and support. Take it away, man. Tell us why the hell you support the very worst president of your life.
Well, because I didn't think Joe Biden was fit. I didn't think Kamala was fit. And I always thought Trump was the boss. Now, did you see right here the Wall Street? I believe it was the Wall Street Journal did an interview with 50 of Biden's administration, and they covered for him. Did you see that?
Well, I'm so sorry. Repeat.
The Wall Street Journal.
Yeah. What did they do?
Did an interview with 50 of Biden's administration, and they all said that they knew about his health decline when he first entered the Oval Office.
Okay.
And then they said that they had to hide that he was not really coherent. They had to reschedule meetings. His bedtime was 6 o'clock. That's in this post right here.
Well, I know his bedtime wasn't 6. That's a lie.
Well, maybe he stayed up later than his bedtime certain nights.
Okay, yeah, because I actually remember meeting him after 6 p.m. in the White House.
Yeah, totally understandable. So
wasn't asleep.
They made
he was
an
at a party.
exception.
He was partying.
Sure he had a boost.
I got a party. I got a party with Biden.
That doesn't sound good the way you just said that, but that's awesome.
Okay. Not
I'd
anyways.
rather
All
party
right.
with Trump than Biden any day.
I completely agree that Biden definitely had some deteriorating health issues. 110%. I don't understand why
Okay,
this
would
makes
you
you support
agree
Trump as
Kamala
president.
Harris knew about those and lied about that too and hid it too?
Knew about them and hid them? Hid them in what sense?
The 50 people that were interviewed said
I think that Kamala Harris probably did like that politician thing where like when asked about it, kind of evaded the question a little bit because it definitely doesn't like promote like a strong image for the country to like be going over like the meticulous health problems of the president, given that the president can still effectively govern to a particular extent. And because I believe that Biden could effectively govern to a particular extent, there's just really no reason to, share like his like personal health struggles.
If they had to reschedule his appointments because he couldn't handle them, and they had to hide and decline, and they had to do all these different things to convince the public that he was okay to be our president.
Well, I mean, he was okay to be our president. America was so much better under Biden than it is under Trump today, in consideration to Biden's deteriorating mental health.
There's
Thorough, thank you so much for the galaxy. That's not just my opinion, that's what the facts say. Every single macroeconomic trend was significantly better off a year and a half ago under Biden compared to where it's at today.
Yeah, but see, the facts you're getting are biased because I could be getting the same facts that prove that you're wrong.
Wait, no, they're not. Prove this wrong. I mean, every single macroeconomic variable is better off a year and a half ago. For example, an investment into American business was significantly higher under Biden than it started stagnating and going down under Trump, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Man, we had the highest inflation in 40 years under Biden. You're trying to act like that shit was great?
Okay, so you completely ignored everything that I just said to pivot to the inflation high caused by the pandemic, not caused by Biden. That's pretty bad faith of you.
Dean, you're not an AI
Did Biden
robot.
cause that inflation?
You're not an AI robot that just has to repeat the same shit every time.
Did Biden cause that inflation?
Why did he cut off oil with Russia?
Can you answer my question? Did Biden cause that inflation?
He helped it. Why did he cut off the oil with Russia?
Wait, how did he help it?
I just asked you. Why did he cut off the oil with Russia?
Oh, so those two things are related. Because of their invasion of Ukraine?
So they're mad at Ukraine, so they punished us by not purchasing their oil.
Well, see, the thing is I completely agree
How
with
does
the
that make
sanctions on
sense,
Russia.
Dean?
I agree with the sanctions on Russia, and so does Trump. Everyone but you, apparently. Clearly, we
now
should be
you agree
economically...
with Trump.
Can I
So now
speak
you
for more
agree
than 3
with-
words?
Because you said that you didn't agree with Trump on anything, and you just said you agreed with Trump on that.
I've never said that there's literally like 0 things ever that I've ever agreed with Trump on. I think that a broken clock is right twice a day, and this is one of those examples as it would relate to Trump. Now,
So,
I've been trying
Trump
to
was right
speak here,
this
but
time.
yeah, Trump was right about continuing the sanctions on Russia imposed by Biden. That's
But
a
he's not
bipartisan
right
agreement.
when he wants to do sanctions on other people. That sounds a little contradicted.
Well,
You know,
the way
you
that in which it is
yourself
not
when you say
contradictory.
It's cool with one time, but it's not cool for the other.
Well, it's not contradictory because we had good reason to impose sanctions on all of Russia's oil, particularly.
Yeah,
the
we
fact
had a
that they
good
were-
reason to put all these tariffs on everybody else too, because they
Can you
act
stop
like
interrupting me?
Oh, I apologize.
Do you understand that you've interrupted me every single time I've opened my mouth?
No, I haven't. I was just pointing out really important facts that you act like Kamala Harris would be
but
better.
how about
president.
you do that when I'm done speaking? Like you understand that like it's a very like unpleasurable viewing experience.
Maybe
right,
for
for the people watching at home, it's honestly just like annoying, right? Because like it doesn't allow me to finish my points, and it just kind of it's giving kind of you control over like the conversational flow. And if I start like making a response to one of your points that like you don't like because you know I'm right, then you just like interrupt me and then bring up something else. Like no one enjoys it, bruh. Okay,
No,
just let me
normally I
finish
do that when
speaking.
you're wrong,
I'll
'cause
do
I-
my best to let you finish speaking too. So now, anyways, the latest thing that you said is that it was bad for Biden to impose sanctions on buying Russian oil. Okay, economically sanctioning countries, okay, that are guilty of ethnic cleansing is for the most part, with limited exclusions like Israel, okay, a bipartisan agreement. That was not just merely a decision made by Biden, but it was also a decision made by the leader of every country in the EU, UN, and NATO, and a decision approved and upheld by Trump. Okay? Because we should not be economically supporting a country that is then using that money to fund an invasion, annexation, and ethnic cleansing of another country.
Okay, can I respond?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you feel you got that same energy for Iran then, right? Because they still had 30,000 of their protesters before this shit happened.
Yeah, so I don't think that we should be engaging in free and fair economic trade with the IRCG when they are then using that money to turn around and like kill 30,000 people.
Okay, do you know Trump had a peace accord, and how many countries around Iran entered the peace accord with
The
Trump?
IRGC, sorry.
So how many countries entered the peace accord with Trump?
Well, I mean, one of the countries that didn't enter into the peace accord was Palestine, which actually led to more conflict in that region as well. But now you
So
continue to
Palestine
pivot
didn't-
because you're using this to pivot into geopolitical peace agreements
No, I
and
wasn't
accords in the Middle
pivoting.
East. But remember, the way that we got here was by talking about macroeconomic indicators under Biden compared to Trump today. Like, just to like quickly refresh your memory, since it's obviously that of a goldfish. I'm not deflecting.
Why are
now.
you deflecting, dude?
I'm going to kick you if you interrupt me and accuse me of deflecting 5 more times. I'm really giving you some grace here. I'm trying to describe to you how I'm not deflecting. Let me describe to you how I'm not deflecting, okay?
Sure, even though you are, but go ahead.
The way in which I am not deflecting is because you made the point, Biden bad president, when I asked you why you support Trump.
No,
Then I responded to that by saying, Biden better than Trump. And then you said no. And then I was like, yes, Biden much better than Trump. Economy much better under Biden compared to Trump. Then I brought up like a bunch of like macroeconomic indicators like investment, GDP growth, unemployment, layoffs, bankruptcy, so on and so forth. And then you pivoted away from every single one of those macroeconomic indicators to saying that inflation was at a super high under Biden. And I was like, okay, first and foremost, you just pivoted. But then I was like, that was kind of caused by the pandemic. Okay. But then you tried to loosely argue that Biden was culpable for that high inflation by sanctioning Russian oil. So then I went on my explanation there about their ethnic cleansing of Ukraine that then justified the sanctions and how Trump agreed with them. Therefore, you can't really use this as a reason to like unilaterally blame Biden for more inflation. In fact, who you'd be blaming here is Russia, right? Okay. But then you pivoted to Iran to ask me the hypothetical question, would I support economic sanctions on Iran because of them killing protesters? And when I said yes, you then use that to open the door to talking about geopolitical peace agreements in the Middle East. But clearly a conversation about peace accords in the Middle East under Trump is no longer a conversation. Was the economy better under Biden or better under Trump today? So do you now clearly understand how you pivoted away from like the original point of discourse?
Because you're going to go try to quote some who are they? Professionals that most of them ended up all being wrong, and they admitted to being wrong, and you still won't quote them for admitting to being wrong that Trump's economy is doing amazing?
I'll actually just quote Trump's administration. Can I do that?
Why? What administration? Was it last term or this term?
This term.
So what part of his administration saying he's, oh, and thank you for all the gifts, guys. I just want to thank you. They might not be a lot, but I see them and I appreciate them. Thank you very much.
Grifter.
Dean, you're the one that invites people up and then has them wait 2 or 3 minutes to thank everybody. You guys do that shit on purpose.
Should I be interrupting?
You could be thanking everybody the whole time you don't got anybody, but then you pull a Trump supporter up and think, that's a fucking grifter.
It doesn't matter if I pull you up before or after I thank the donors.
Yes, it does. You do it a certain way for a reason. You know psychologists, psychology. They do things for reasons to get reactions out of people.
Well, actually, yeah, there is a reason why I bring the Trump supporter up before I thank the donors, but it's not for a reaction or for more donations.
Yes, most definitely because, it is. You know it is. That's why you just said that.
It's because when I have somebody actively loaded into the live, more of the viewers understand that once I'm done thanking my donors, we'll hop in a debate, and then they're more likely to stay. I don't know why.
No,
they're more likely to stay, but they are.
To be honest with you, the more likely. You want to piss them off and get them frustrated on all the donations you get before you go into a debate with them. That's your tactic.
Wait, you'd hear me thank the donors even if you were in the queue, not on the stream, right?
So why don't you thank them before you are hurting to get a Trump supporter, and then you finally get one up there, and then you have to thank everybody?
Because there's no material difference. You wait just as long. You hear the same thing. What's the difference?
There is material difference.
What's the difference? Lady, thank you for the corgi. No, tell me. Can you tell me what the difference is? If you didn't have a reason,
you wouldn't do it like that.
I told you the reason is because people are less likely to leave when I'm thanking my donors because they understand that there's a Trump supporter on the live.
They're less likely to leave when they're waiting to talk to you for how long, and then you accept them up, and then you make them wait even longer after you thank everybody. Anyway,
because if I thank the donors before I accepted you up, you'd just be waiting longer in the queue. Can you agree, right, that regardless if I thank the donors before I accept you from the queue or after I accept you from the queue, but before we debate, you wait the same amount of time?
Yeah, but the way I look at it,
so then what's the difference?
The way
Alaskan girl, thank you so much for the money, God. I appreciate you.
I'm gonna tell you the difference. If you could just pause for a sec.
Yeah, for sure, God.
So the difference
Deborah,
is,
thank you so much for the $15 donation on Venmo. Let's get 150 Deborah W's down below in that chat. Thank you so much, Deborah. Huge shout out to Deborah. Also, thank you so much, Trey, for the $5 and Skip. Thank you so much for the $1. Quickly over on PayPal, Dawn. Thank you so much for the $10. She says, young people like you and Parker give me hope for the future. Keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for the love, Dawn. Let's get 100 Dawn W's down below in that chat, as well as Aiden. Thank you so much for the $5. Jenny, thank you for the $5. Tessa, thank you for the $5. Isaiah, thank you so much for the $5. Huge shout out to you. Let's get 100 Isaiah W's. And then 400 Tyler W's down below in that chat for the $40 donation on PayPal. Tyler, that is literally so kind of you, bro. $40 goes a long way here. Show some love to Tyler down below in that chat for the massive $40 dono. Since you asked me so nicely about why you're getting sued, it's because he claimed that it's because I claimed to potentially give him $500+ because I thought it was a good cause, but when I figured out he was a scammer, I told him I wouldn't. Now he's threatening to sue me. Oh, well, yeah, if you didn't have a contractual agreement, it was just word of mouth. You don't owe him jack shit. But thank you so much for the $40, Tyler. Show some love to Tyler down below in that comment section. And then Tay, thank you so much for the corgi. As well as thank you for the $5 over on Super Chat Brand. Appreciate you guys. If you want to support me, link tree in the bio, the account, TikTok and Venmo. Appreciate you guys so much for the love. Go ahead.
okay, so anyway, I didn't even know Palestine didn't enter the peace accord, but so Palestine and Iran both did not do that. So, do you think they really wanted peace in the Middle East?
Barbara, thank you for the fireworks. You're breaking my neck with a pivot.
I know. That would happen in real life too, but it's all right.
You just threatened to break my neck? Jesus, dude.
No, I'm just saying.
Violent.
That would probably happen in real life.
So
Long story
in real
short,
life, you would break my
Dean,
neck.
why are you deflecting now? Just answer the question. Now, you know that Biden's administration
Wait, you
covered
just said
for
that
him.
you're going to break my neck. Like, God,
No, I
man,
did
calm
not.
down.
No, I did not. Now,
I think
now
that you
real
just
quick,
need to... Can you just
you
breathe?
defended that Kamala
Yo,
Harris.
just real quick, breathe.
I am breathing.
No, just take a breath.
Okay.
Can you please take a
There.
breath?
I just did.
Lucas, thank you for this one. Take another breath.
I took 3 breaths.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so
Carrie, thank you so much for the $100 donation over on Venmo. Oh my God, that is Carrie. Carrie, thank you so much for the love. That is legitimately insane. I'm so grateful for you. That is so much goddamn money. Thank you so much for the love, Carrie. I want to see 1,000 Carrie W's in all of the chats. Thank you so much for the support,
Dean
Carrie. That is
doesn't want to answer a
awesome.
question,
Carrie with the
he starts
$100 says
thanking his
because it is
chat for the
St.
donation.
Patty's Day. Shout out to you. Shout out to St. Patty's Day. Thank you so much for the $100. Let's show some massive love to Carrie down below.
So Dean knows that Iran and Palestine didn't want to join the peace accord because they didn't want peace in the Middle East. Why do you think they didn't want peace in the Middle East?
Whoa. Palestine rejected to join the peace accord? Give me a source for that.
That's what you just said, didn't you?
No. That they weren't included within the offer.
Oh, so they weren't included.
Right. Also, once again, this is a pivot away from the
But
original.
you don't think
claim that I made.
Iran was included in the offer? You don't think all the Middle East countries were included in the offer?
Yeah, I don't think that. But
Well,
once
they
again,
were.
this is
They
okay.
declined the offer.
I would love
Now,
for you to show me a
now-
source to that.
now,
But once
Dean-
again, this is still yet a pivot away. I will happily have a conversation with you about this after we could finish the first point, which would be the case that the Trump administration is arguing that the economy is shit right now. Now, you said I'd only have biased sources that have already been proven wrong. No, I'm talking about Donald Trump's Bureau of Labor Statistics telling us that last year we had the most manufacturing bankruptcies since 2008 and the worst annualized jobs report since 2003, ignoring recessions. And last month we lost 92,000 jobs.
Yeah, and that was 4 years of Biden that rolled into 1 year of Trump.
Wait,
Blame
no, because
Trump.
the year before
Blame
in
Trump
2024
for
and
it all.
2023,
1 year in
we had
office.
great jobs, low bankruptcies, and
Do
great
I get to
investment.
respond
Those
before
trends
you interrupt?
changed the moment Trump walked in.
Because you know you're losing the debate, bro.
Yeah, obviously, right.
Kamala Harris knew Joe Biden wasn't fit, and you know
Pivot.
that too.
Pivot.
You're you're
Onyx, thank you for the
deflecting.
corgi.
Every
Nope,
time
that's
you
what you just
bring
did.
people up here, you normally ask,
Pivot.
would you vote for Kamala or would you
Pivot.
vote for Biden first?
No, that's what Trump does. Wait, sorry, that's what Parker does. Pivot. Do you want to respond to
That's
the point?
what you do, Dean. And
Okay,
that's
you're
what
still
you
pivoting.
used to all the time. And it's not a
Alright, we're still
pivot.
pivoting.
It's you're defending the most corrupt government that we've had. Now, let me say one more thing.
What you're pivoting away from is the fact that you cannot argue the reason why we have so terrible macroeconomic outcomes under Trump is
Oh,
because
I
of
can
Biden.
too.
Okay, then how do you explain the fact that right before Donald Trump's inauguration, the macroeconomic trends were pointing upwards, and then after Donald Trump's inauguration, the macroeconomic trends then started to point downwards.
Because you were being lied to, just like his health.
Who was lying to us? Trump?
Who was in control over all of the fucking data? What was
Trump,
the new jobs
BLS appointee
report?
from his first term.
What was the new jobs report under Biden? Because the
Wait,
jobs number that came out under Biden
let me answer that
originally
question.
was-
A Trump BLS appointee from his first term was in control of the data. Okay. But even after Donald Trump fired that BLS head because he accused them of being biased and then replaced them with a new crony, okay, they didn't revise any of the historical data under the Biden-Harris administration. You can't call that a lie, you jackass.
If it was historical data, they would have kept it. If it was a lie, they wouldn't have kept it. Come on, Dean, you know better than that, right?
Exactly. If it was
Right?
a lie, they wouldn't have kept it, yet they did keep it, which means it's not a lie. Pushed.
That's why it's not a lie.
Yes, because they kept the data. Pushed.
Okay, so I could give you something else that's another lie.
Oh,
You've been lied
pivot.
to so many times and you push
Pivot.
it. Pivot on what?
Push. You're pivoting away from the fact that all the macroeconomic trends were doing really good.
Yeah, but you
right
said it
until
was
Donald Trump's
somebody that Trump
inauguration where they
fired
started
and
to
it
go
was in
bad, 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 bad.
2017.
No.
I said, who was it in this administration?
No! Let me repeat the claim so you know what I'm saying. The head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics during the Biden-Harris administration was an appointee from Trump in his first term who was a Republican. They reported, under the Biden-Harris administration, great jobs reports for the last 2 years of the presidency. Great investment, too. Then Donald Trump fired them 7 months into his second administration because the jobs report were looking terrible and replaced them with a new MAGA crony, BLS said. But that MAGA crony, BLS said, did not revise/change any of the data from Donald Trump's second administration before that or from the Biden-Harris administration before that, meaning that none of that was lies. And by the way, they only continued to report the same negative trends of investment, GDP growth, and jobs report because just last month under this new head, we lost 92,000 jobs. You're clearly failing to track this conversation because you're low
No,
IQ.
not at all.
Now, if you need me to clarify on anything here, feel free to ask. But the point at which I'm trying to get across the line here is very simple. It's that the economy was doing great at the end of Biden's. Trump gets into office, things start looking down.
Dean, does Joe Biden own any businesses?
Pivot.
Idiot. We can't bring up any factual topics because Joe Biden, that doesn't own any businesses, had a better economy than Donald Trump. That has Trump Towers, golf courses. Mar-a-Lago makes $30 million a year just from concerts from Mar-a-Lago.
That claim's true.
But Joe Biden had a better economy. And
Yeah.
he was hitting his health decline the whole time. And Kamala
Yeah,
Harris
yeah,
knew
well,
about it.
pivot.
Dude, you guys are fucking clowns.
Pivot. Respond to the irrefutable argument I gave you to demonstrate that even according to
just
Donald Trump's
did.
own Republican head of the BLS, okay, right, that things were better under Biden. And your response was to say that Biden wasn't a business owner, but Trump is? Okay, and still yet, the data
And that
from
person
Donald
is
Trump's
lying
BLS
to you
appointee-
because if somebody says that something,
Wait, so everyone is lying
Why
to
can't
us?
I respond,
Donald,
Dean,
Donald
before
Trump's
you just
first
cut me
BLS
off when I
appointee
got
and second
3 words
appointee are
from
all lying to us?
'Cause you're
How do you know
losing,
that they're
Dean.
lying to us? How do you know that they're
you're
lying to us?
losing, dog.
How do you know that they're
Because they
lying to us?
lied to about his health condition.
Wait. Please point me to where the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics that we have today lied about Biden's health condition.
Well, I never fucking said they did exactly.
Oh, so then how do you know that they were lying to us about the jobs reports, buddy? Push.
Because
why? What's the evidence?
Because they had to make it look good for Biden. And
Wait,
bad
how do you
for
know that?
Trump.
How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that?
Called common knowledge.
Wait, common knowledge that a
Do you have any
pro-Trump
common
appointee
knowledge,
by
Dean,
Trump
without-
would make the data look bad for Trump?
Dean.
Wait. I just want to clarify. Are you arguing that it's common knowledge that a pro-Trump appointee made by Trump
Dean, do you
would
know
want
what a
to make it
rhino
look bad
is?
for Trump? How do you know that they're a rhino?
Well, obviously you know what that means.
Yeah. How do you know that they're a rhino?
If they were going against Trump, then they were.
Wait. So if anybody ever reports any data in which is not convenient for the Trump administration, it's not because the data is true, but rather because they don't like Trump.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it is true. Is it true that
Wait, so your sources just trust me, bro, right?
Walls got told on by
wait,
30 whistleblowers?
Don't pivot. Your sources just trust me, bro, right?
30 whistleblowers told
Wait,
on
wait,
Tim
wait,
Walz. So is that true?
No. Your source
that
that
true?
the head of the Bureau of
If
Labor
Trump is
Statistics
true, then Tim
is just a rhino that wants to like publish like fake information about Trump is just trust me, bro, right?
How many rhinos did he
Whoa,
fire?
whoa. So your source that his new appointee to the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, after firing the old one, is a rhino that just wants to report bad information about Trump is just a trust me, bro, right?
That's a very big possibility, yeah.
Okay, but there's no evidence for it, you delusional, crazy man.
Sure. What topic do you want to go to next?
You admit there's no evidence?
Dean, are you going to get excited for that? Because how many did you get roasted on?
Yeah, I'm going to get excited because you just conceded, jackass.
On one?
You
Did
just
you concede where they
that the
hid
economy
Biden's
is
health
significantly
condition? You
worse.
conceded on that.
Well,
Did you concede where Kamala Harris knew that she hid Biden's health condition?
Define
You conceded
the
on that.
word concession.
When you know you're wrong and you admit to it.
Oh, exactly. In order for me to concede about Biden possessing health conditions would necessitate that I first argue he did not have any health conditions.
You have,
and then
for the
after
last 2
hearing
years,
your
you
position, I argued that he
You are
did
a liar.
have health conditions. And that's also false. Yeah, one of like the, white boys for Harris was arguing that Biden was like perfectly fine and fit and perfect health. That wasn't me.
Yeah, that
Harris,
was
I
you,
think.
dog.
No, give me evidence. Oh, wait. Is this going to be another trust me, bro?
No, they're all over the internet. Your
Give me
clips
evidence.
of you
Give me
saying.
evidence. Give me evidence.
So we don't
Give me
believe
evidence.
that.
No. Give me evidence.
The evidence is the clips of you saying it, dumb
Play
fuck.
one. Pull one up right now. Dumb fuck.
Oh, it'll take me a little bit longer than that because
Then
you know
do
I'm
it.
not set up to do it.
Then do it.
Okay, I will.
Do it.
Anybody fall
Do it
on
right
my
now.
page, I'll light up.
Do
a
it.
video
No.
for
Do
you.
it right now. On the spot.
Dean, Trump's the boss.
No
He's
evidence.
getting peace in the
No
Middle
evidence.
East.
Get fucked.
Cuba wants to fucking already
Wait,
bow down on his knees.
wait. Concede again.
Dude, this
Concede
shit
you
is
have any
the
evidence.
gangsterest movie I'm watching right
Conceding.
now.
Wait.
Trump is-
No. Pivot. Don't pivot. Concede
What
that your
about
last claim was
Marco
bullshit.
Rubio?
No.
Trump's a
You're running away.
racist, right?
You're running away. Concede that your last claim was bullshit. Because you had no
wasn't.
evidence for it.
It wasn't.
Wait, so what was
Just
your
like
evidence?
Marco Rubio.
Wait. So then what was your evidence? What was your
Can you
evidence?
see-
If your claim was true, what's the evidence?
Dean.
No evidence, right?
So you
No evidence, right?
No evidence of you saying that anybody that watches your show knows you've said this. You're a liar.
No. Wait. Give me evidence for that claim.
How many people are in here
Wait.
right-
Give me evidence for the claim that anybody who's ever watched my show knows that prior to the election, I was saying that Biden was perfectly fine at 110%. Give me any evidence of that claim. It just seems like you're positing a bunch of like baseless
So what
speculation.
did you say
here.
was wrong with them then?
Yeah, for sure. I said that he had deteriorating health.
Deteriorating health. No dementia though, just deteriorating health.
There's still no evidence of dementia, but anyways, yeah, that was a claim.
If you have to reschedule a meeting till the next day because you didn't know what's going on, that's clear signs of dementia.
Wait.
Do you know
how
what
do you,
dementia
how do you
is?
know? How do you know that he had to reschedule the meeting to the next day specifically because he didn't know what was going on?
Because 50 of
Angelica,
his
thank you so much
fucking
for the motorcycle.
cabinet members snitched on him. To the
Okay,
Wall
yeah, show
Street.
me exactly where they said that.
How about you just pull it up? I had it in my thing. You
Okay,
want me
so
to pull it back up?
what is the title of the
I'll
Washington
pull
Post
it back
article?
up for you, Dean.
So what is the title of the Washington Post article?
Washington Post interviews 50, and I'm not sure if it was Washington Post or Wall Street Journal.
Okay,
Interviews
what was the name of the
50 of Biden's cabinet members. So I'm really glad you're doing this right now, so we can all see 15, 13, what, 17,000? How many?
Okay, wait.
13,000?
It wasn't the Washington Post. What was it? The Wall Street Journal?
That's what I said.
A, now you believe what people say, right? Why don't you believe what E. Jean Carroll said? Get fucked. But B, I'm actually not really finding the article here. That's not the article title. Anyone could go online.
How
right
about
now.
you just look at what I had right there, Dean?
I want to look
right
at it
there.
on my screen. I want to look at it on my screen. Skeptic Unicorn, thank
Pull
you
it
for the
up
party
on the
laser.
big screen.
You have
for
to tell
everybody
me.
to
You have to
see.
tell me what to type in to find that article.
I told you.
No, you didn't. I'll actually show you that real quick.
Even if
I'll
you put in Wall Street Journal interviews 50 of Biden's panel, whatever, employees, whatever, that worked with him, you're going to see that it'll show you the right one that did, okay?
I'm asking you one last time here. What is the name of the article?
Let me pull it up so I can tell you. I don't want to tell you the wrong one.
Also, you said that they interviewed 50 of his cabinet members?
Right here.
Wait. You also said that they interviewed 50 of his cabinet members?
It's right there. Just bring me
You
up
also
in the
said
big
that.
screen so we...
One sec. What? Wait, 1 second.
It said
Actually, let me look at this
48 to
real
be
quick.
exact.
Bro, this is fucking AI. This is fucking AI. What are we doing?
But it shows you who did it.
No,
who did the report.
No. Listen, man, I get that you're old, so you likely don't know this.
Dean,
Let me help you out.
that showed you who what news channel did.
I get that you're old. Let me hear you out. Let me help you out here. Never fact check reporting. I'm gonna help you out. Never fact check reporting with AI. Never do it. AI is completely unreliable.
Dean, is all it did was tell you the...
If you ask AI what Parker Get a Job's real name is, it'll tell you Dean Withers. If you ask AI how many R's there are in the word strawberry, it'll say 2.
And you know you can ask the question again and check it, and it'll give you the correct answer. So listen.
Let's look at the original reporting from the source to determine what happened.
The source was in the AI overview. You wanted to know the source, right?
Yeah, that's not a source.
Dude, the news channel or whatever company that did this report was in the AI overview, dumb fuck.
Yeah, and that's what I want you to point towards.
That's why I had it up there, but you kicked it back down because you wanted to say it was AI overview when it had the fucking company that did the report in the middle of it.
Okay, just tell me what it is.
If I forgot because it's not right there because you got me confused.
Bro, just go look on your fucking like photo app real quick.
Man, I got hella shit in there. Just pull me up back there and we'll save a lot of time for your viewers. There you go. So look, it says, okay, what? Right there, Wall Street Journal, the first fucking words.
Okay, perfect.
You asshole.
So I want you to go to that actual article, re-screenshot it.
No, you go to it, fucker, and educate yourself.
I don't have a Wall Street Journal subscription. Clearly,
you don't need one to pull up the fucking Google post, dummy.
Actually, you do. Unfortunately, you do. I'll show you.
Why are you lying?
I'll just show you.
How about you just Google search that fucking thing and it will tell you.
Like, do you see that? Unfortunately, you need a subscription. Look
Dean, you could still get the interview about it without having to do that.
Okay, then how do I do that?
Scroll down a little bit further in your Google search.
Bruh, this is the article. Like, listen, how the White House kept functioning with the diminished Biden in charge. That is literally the name of the article at the top of the AI overview. Look,
okay, and it says right here, early interview, aides reportedly realized within months of Biden's...
Yeah, listen, bro, I don't trust AI.
You don't trust it was reporting what that said?
Yeah, I don't. AI is not built to be reliable.
Well, you're rich. Pay $5 and get a subscription and get the truth so you stop lying to everybody.
Wait, you're the one that's supposed to be making the claim.
It was $4.99. Are you that poor?
I'm telling you that I want you to go spend your $4 because A, aren't you like this big porn star that makes all this money? And then B, you're the one that made the claim, right? It's like I would happily spend my $4 on a Wall Street Journal subscription to read the source, given that it was relevant to why you support Trump, but because Biden didn't even run for election and Kamala Harris did, this is just all like a side point to detract away from the argument of which I made surrounding how terrible Trump is for the economy and how I got you to concede there.
Not really.
But so yeah, go spend your porn star money on WSJ, right?
And just wait till he releases 100 million barrels of oil.
A question. Why won't you go spend all your porn star money on the Wall Street Journal?
Hey, Dean, last time you did that, I had 4 girls wanted to watch my videos. I appreciate it. Thanks for promoting me again this time.
Yeah, so just go spend some of your porn star money on the Wall Street Journal. Go do it.
Sure, but you got $5.
Okay, go on pause. Go do it. Perfect. Go on pause. By the way, you
just don't want to know the truth, Dean.
I do. That's why I'm asking you to go get a Wall Street Journal subscription so you could read it straight from the source.
Why would you trust me? That's a trust me, bro. Just pay the $5.
I'm not going to trust you. I'm going to ask you to screenshot it and put it back on live the same way that you're doing right now.
See, it sounds like you just don't want to know the truth so you can lie to your fans the whole
If I didn't want to know the truth, then I want to be asking you to go screenshot the original article to put it on screen, dumbass.
But if I don't do it, you're not going to go research the truth yourself, dumbass.
Well, you're the one that's making the claim, and you're the one that has to give the evidence, dumbass.
Dean, you lost.
I haven't lost by asking you for evidence.
13,000 people, if they do their own due diligence, maybe 25% of them will, but they're going to
Oh my
find out
God.
you've been lying.
I haven't lost by asking you to get the evidence for your claim. Listen, honestly, I don't understand why this conversation has taken as long as it has. The 2 points here. Oh, you actually just got a ban for misinformation. That's funny. But anyways, the 2 points here that I was trying to communicate, which should be very simple and should have a unilateral agreement to with everyone, not just people on the left, is that AI overviews are unreliable and you need to provide evidence for your claim. So if you want to cite a Wall Street Journal article saying that, you know, Biden X, Y, or Z, then just come with a screenshot of the Wall Street Journal article. I'm just not willing to trust an AI overview because I know that AI overviews are very frequently incorrect. Like anyone knows this. Anyone that uses Google knows this. You know, you go to Google, you type in a question, and then you'll get like the articles in response that are relevant to the question, and then the AI overview, and it's like 75% of the time the AI overview says something completely different than what all the articles say, just because AI is unreliable. So, of course, I'm going to ask you for a direct source from the article in which you're citing, not what ChatGPT thinks your source says. Do you support Trump? Hello? You are about 1 billion years away from your microphone. Sorry, dude, I got to disconnect you. Super quiet mic, registering at like 2 decibels. Let's go to move on to the next guest right now. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA.
Jump in.
Hi, do you support Trump?
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the request.
No worries, you take care. Moving on to the next guest. Appreciate you. We got, let's see here. MOS loading up into the box. Gail, appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo. It says paywall workaround. Copy and paste the link into this website, archive.ph. Works for any paywall. Appreciate you, Gail. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that information. I'll definitely be using that in the future. Aaron, ERIN, thank you for the $10, who says, meanwhile, Trump called Gavin Newsom president yesterday. I know, right? Thank you for the $10. Juliana, thank you for the $10, who says, celebrating voting in the midterm primaries. Let's go. I really hope that we see some more progressive blue in the Senate this year. I know, right? Thank you so much for the support, Juliana. And then Carrie, thank you so much for the $50 donation over on Venmo again. Carrie, you were so very kind.
Oh my
Let's
God.
get 500 Carrie W's down below in that comment section. Carrie with a $50 says, forgot to send you some for Woodford Reserve because it's a holiday. Oh, thank you so much for the love and support, Carrie. You are awesome, awesome. All the love in the world to you. Let's get 500 Carrie W's down below in that chat. That is seriously so freaking kind of you, dude. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yep.
L Carrie. What's that all about?
Yep. Nothing.
It's kind of mean.
No, it's not mean.
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
What month?
January.
You'd be 19.
Fuck!
There was 2.5 months that you couldn't pick. You had 9.5 months that you could have chosen from for it to line up, and you chose wrong. That's really unfortunate. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up into the box right now. This person's name is Liberal Crybaby.
We're getting at the mess he made. Joe Biden made $1.9 trillion in debt. Student Forgiveness Act. He lied to us. Where are all the student loans forgiveness? They're not. You lied. You're scapegoating. We're getting out of the mess that the Democrats gave us.
Hi.
We love Donald Trump.
Hello? Oh, this is a debate live. Why did they just leave? No, hop back in that queue. Don't be a runner. Don't be a runner. Hop back in that queue. Hello?
Oh wait, Dean.
Shut up.
What the hell, man?
Hi, baby.
Shut up.
Shut up.
How you doing, baby?
What's up, Dean? How you
How
doing?
you doing, baby?
Shut up.
Shut up.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I was just letting you know I'm doing those shows in a couple days, and I wanted to call you and say hello. Just say hello. You're doing so well, man. Like, it's really infuriating, even as a baby, watching these lives sometimes. Like, how fucking stupid these people are. It's unreal.
I agree.
Shut up.
Shut up.
What the fuck?
So real. So
Yeah.
real, baby.
Unreal.
You know, I actually saw one of your posts on my For You page the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's about getting drafted into World War III.
Oh, yeah. What'd you think of that?
I just remember seeing that on my For You page. But you know what, baby? I just wanted to tell you I hope you have a good rest of your day. All right.
You too, buddy. Keep it up. I love you, Dean Withers. Talk to you later.
Okay, can I sing you my song now?
Shut up. Moving on to the next guest. We got John loading up into the box right now. Here we go. Hi, do you support Trump?
To a certain extent, more than Biden, though.
Okay, how old are you?
20.
What year are you born in?
2005.
2005, perfect. So if the election were held tomorrow between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, who do you vote for?
Wait, say that again? Sorry.
What time is it?
5:07.
Okay. If the election were held tomorrow between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, who do you vote for?
Donald Trump.
All right, let me thank like 4 people, then I'll pass you that mic, okay?
Okay.
Over on Super Chat, thank you so much, Patrick Matthews, for the $50. Thank you so much for that love, Patrick. Let's get 500 Patrick W's down below. That is so very kind of you, man. I'm so grateful for you. Show some love to Patrick, you guys. Patrick with a 50 says, I was named after St. Patrick, so it's my day, and I'm choosing to use my money to thank Dean and to say fuck Trump till the end of the time. Patrick, that is so fucking kind of you, man. Thank you so much for the support. It is your day. You know, fun fact, my middle name is Patrick. So I guess it's our day. Patrick to Patrick. Thank you so much for the love, dude. Let's get 500 Patrick W's down below. And then Count Nefera with a $10 over on YouTube says, lol, the AI overview even disagrees with him, saying that there's no evidence of an interview with 48 Biden cabinet members. Exactly. Like now the AI is contradicting itself, Count Nefera. That's why I don't like take AI as a source on my stream. And that's like super understandable, or at least it, realistically should be. Let's see here. I'd also like to quickly thank Mickey. Thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Appreciate you for that love. Let's show some up to Mickey down below. SJ, thank you for the 10. Says you don't have to read this unless you want to. I'll keep that to myself, SJ. I love having you here. Huge shout out to you. Let's get 100 SJWs. And Lee, thank you for the $5. Leah just read your message. Don't worry, Lee. You are not old. Okay, you are not old at all. Thank you so much for the support, you guys. If you want to support me, you can find the Venmo, PayPal link tree in the bio on TikTok, my message over in that YT stream, and the handles at the top of the phone screen. Get 100% of those proceeds. You could attach a message, and I'll try my best to read it off. Go ahead, tell us how you still support Trump as president. Sure.
So, completely understand that he's messed up a lot of things in his throughout his term, right? But what has Kamala Harris succeeded in her term that makes you so keen on the idea that she is a person to vote for over Trump?
Yeah, sorry, repeat that.
I understand that Donald Trump, he did what he said he was going to do on the first day. He said he was going to close up the border. But he did recently raise up gas prices because we did go in war with Iran. And I'm just curious, what makes you so keen on the idea that Donald Trump is like a horrible politician compared to Kamala Harris? Because I'm not really sure what Kamala Harris has succeeded in doing.
I want to respond to something first, because you said that he kept all of his promises on day one by closing the border.
No, I didn't say I didn't say that. I said he kept his promise on closing up the border.
Okay, I don't even really think that he closed the border. I think that he's just scaring new undocumented entry away. But not by closing the border, but by scaring them away.
All right, well, could you answer my second question then?
What was it?
It was, what has Kamala Harris succeeded in? Yeah, what would I say?
Yeah, she succeeded on running for president with a damn good agenda, on top of working her way up from being an AG to a DA to, sorry, working her way up from being an attorney to a DA to an AG to a senator to VP.
How'd you get to senator?
By running for it?
Nah, then she like married some guy that was 30 years older than her, slept her way to the top, and then now we're supposed to elect her as our
I just
president.
want to clarify that you could have sex with someone and magically spawn in 48 million votes.
Yeah.
That's how it works. You just have sex with someone and then you just magically get 48 million
I like
people to
how
vote for you.
you're saying this because that's how she got to that position.
No,
she literally got
obviously.
support.
So clearly true. Can I ask you another question?
Yeah, you can ask me a question.
Who's the person that she had sex with to get all those votes?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know his name. I haven't been
so
doing my
48
research.
million people knew his name and knew all about him, but you don't?
Yeah, I just saw your live stream. I just know that he was 29 years older than her.
I want to ask you a question here. Then blame that on him. Don't blame that on her. Okay,
No, I'ma
if someone
blame it
were
on-
to be getting taken advantage of in that scenario, it would be her. It wouldn't be him because he's the one that's 30 years older. But okay, next
Yeah,
question.
but
what
she's
state do
the
you live
one
in?
who's agreeing to it.
What
What are
state
you
do you live in?
talking about?
Okay, so you
He's
try
the
to
one-
well, exactly.
Go
So you try to use it as a point against her that she was 30 years older, that he was 30 years older than her, as like some negative reflection on her. And then I'm like, okay, well, if anybody were to be getting taken advantage of in that scenario, it'd clearly be the younger person. But now that I point that simple fact out, now there's no issue with it because it was consensual. But now just answer my question. What state do you live in?
Why would you
Think of the
need
galaxy.
that?
Oh, it's super
Why would I
relevant
ever
to the
tell
debate.
you that?
Super relevant to the debate.
How is it relevant to the debate?
Because I want to ask you if you could name 5 cities in your state and then name the mayors of those 5 cities.
I can't.
Okay, perfect. That's all I need to know. So you don't know a single mayor in your state. So how are you expecting the 48 million people that voted for Kamala Harris to be the senator of California to not just know a mayor of a city, but the mayor from San Francisco 15 years ago, Willie Brown, and know that 10 years ago, Kamala Harris had a relationship with Willie Brown that was private, and know that he was a good person, therefore they should vote for her. It is completely nonsensical to suggest that because Kamala Harris had a relationship with an ex-mayor of one city from 15 years ago, that influenced 48 million people to vote for her, given the fact that vast majority of people don't know their mayor, more or less any mayor from any city in their state, including you.
All right, so can I just use an example? You might think it's irrelevant, but just I'm gonna use this example and you tell me whether or not you like it or not. All right. So I'm from this country. I don't know if you know it or not. It's Albania. You know that country?
Yes, I've heard of Albania before.
Okay. So it used to be a communist dictatorship, pretty much like North Korea, right? The guy who was elected as a dictator.
Communist dictatorship. Those two things are contradictory, but whatever. Go ahead.
This guy, right, wasn't smart, he just served in the war. That's literally the only reason. He was a Muslim, which literally did not help his case, because back then it just did not help his case, and he was just there, right time, right place, and he got elected. And I think that it's the same thing with Kamala Harris. It's not like she is a wonderful genius that understands politics to a level in which you should vote for her, because she just slept to the top.
Yeah, just reposit that she slept. Just reposit that she slept her way to the top, and it'll make it true. No, listen, man. Here's what you are struggling with. You're a misogynist, and you can't deal with the fact that women have been more successful than you.
No,
So
I don't.
when they are more successful than you, you just say that they got there by having sex with men.
That's hilarious. Because what did I say that was misogynist?
Yes, by saying that she slept her way to the top with no evidence whatsoever.
That's
even
what he
after that
did.
argument
No,
being
that's what
disputed by
she did.
myself. I've already
No,
described to
she
you it's not
literally
true that she
slept
slept her
with
way to the
the-
top whatsoever. You didn't even know who
slept-
she slept with or what position he served.
You want me to search it up? Because it's
I've
kind of
actually-
irrelevant. the
I've
name.
actually
Like,
already
I
told you
know-
his name and what he did.
Okay.
Can you repeat what his name was and
He
what he
was
did?
like the senator of California. No.
I told you twice that he was the ex-mayor of San Francisco.
Oh man, I don't see. This is what
Like,
you're not understanding.
These are
I
all like
don't
really
care.
important details. Well, you should care because it's relevant to the argument that you're making. Her having a relationship with an ex-mayor of one city 15 years ago would not influence a single soul to vote for her today. and definitely couldn't influence the 48 million Californian citizens that did vote for her to put her name on the ballot in the booth. Okay? That's bullshit. And I've proven that to be bullshit because you can't name a single mayor from any city in the state where you live. So why are you expecting 48 million people to not just be able to name a mayor from the state in which they live in, but a mayor from a city 15 years ago, have a positive view of that mayor, then know that Kamala Harris was in a relationship with him 10 years ago, and then somehow give it lead to them therefore having a positive view of her, right? It's just unrealistic. It's total sexism. Like, let me just ask you this question. Do you think that men are better at leading than women?
See, I'm going to answer this, and you're going to directly, like, start saying that I'm wrong or something like this. Honestly, it just... I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, like I said, you're just sexist. There you go. Thank you for proving my point.
No, wait. Can I keep talking? Why? Historically, men have been the leaders of the world, and that's why I believe it. I'm not saying a woman leader can't happen. I'm pretty sure there's a German president or leader. She was really good, but most of the time, men lead countries better.
Okay. And your argument that most of the time men lead countries better is the fact that most leaders historically have been men?
Yeah. And
that argument doesn't
so
follow.
Much. How doesn't it follow?
Because it reduces down to the principle that if one group of people dominate in any given field, like men dominating in leadership, that therefore men are better at leadership. But I could give you an example where this logic doesn't track. Men have dominated in leadership. Another field that men have dominated in is surgery. A vast majority of all surgeons for all time have been men. Today, 85% of surgeons are men and 15% are women. Yet, women surgeons significantly outperform men surgeons. If you're operated on by a female compared to a male, you're less likely to die as a result of your surgery, and you're less likely to experience negative postoperative outcomes. Even though it's true, men have always and still today dominate to a significant disproportionate extent.
Okay. Well,
and this refutes the principle that if a group of people dominate in a field, especially if that group of people is men, therefore they're better at performing in that field. Do you see how this extends to the whole men dominate in leadership and have historically, therefore they're better? Okay, this doesn't follow.
I see, like, you're saying this right now, and I completely understand where you're coming from. But there is a difference between leadership and what you were talking about.
Well, why? Okay, well, then the issue that you're struggling with here is
and
the
I'm
fact
not
that you're
saying
special pleading.
that women can't be leaders.
Then you're just special pleading. You're saying, well, when men dominate in surgery, that doesn't mean that they're better at surgery. When men dominate in engineering, that doesn't mean that men are better at engineering. When men dominate in construction, that doesn't mean that they're better at construction. When men dominate in professorship, that doesn't mean that they're better at professorship.
If you want to go to construction, then men have...
But when men dominate in leadership, apparently only in this sense does it mean that they're better at leadership. Okay? So why is male domination of a field only therefore point towards the conclusion that men are better at performing in that field when it's leadership, but nothing else? I don't feel like you'll understand the question.
Yeah, I find it really ironic that you keep on, like, muting me. I don't know why you keep doing that. We get it. You're trying to get your point across. If you wanted to go into construction and saying that men aren't better at construction than women, I'm like 95% sure that 99% of people who work in construction are men, and they are better and outperform women.
Why do you think men outperform?
I could outperform a woman.
So why do you believe that men outperform a women in construction?
Because they have better raw strength.
Okay. All right. Well, then I don't even need to engage in the argument because the reason that you gave wasn't that they dominated in the field. So we could talk about that.
That's the reason why they dominate. No, in construction specifically, that's why they dominate. Because
why would you argue that men dominate in surgery even though women outperform?
I didn't argue that. You're the one who brought it up. I don't know what you're talking about. Bringing surgery in it.
Well, it's a descriptive fact that men dominate in surgery. 85% of surgeons are men. So why do you think that men dominate in surgery when they're worse at it?
Say that Because they're better. This is what you're making
Wait,
these statistics up.
you have
I
no
don't
brain.
see a single. I have
What?
no brain.
One
Okay.
second. You affirmed less than 10 minutes ago that women are better at surgery than men, but now you're arguing that men are better at surgery than women.
Yeah,
So
can
which
you
one is it?
Stop. Nah, I find it so funny. You just keep on muting me. I never said I'm just
you
saying.
know, don't get emotional. Which one
I'm
is
not. But okay, I'm saying men are better at the fields that they dominate in.
it?
Obviously.
So then why do you think they're better at surgery when we have like the most reliable study of all time to demonstrate they aren't?
Where's the study?
The American Medical Association in conjunct with the Journal of the American Medical Association.
All right, let me see that. Wait, give me 1 second. Can you give me exact, like, say it one more time. Where is it from?
The American Medical Association in conjunct with the Journal of the American Medical Association. You could take a look by going on Google. It is PMCID PMC 104-69289. Or you could just go on Google and type in "do women outperform men in surgery," and it will say yes, and you'll get a bunch of studies. It is like the most reliably proven conclusion ever. Like, there's no winning here. In fact, while he's personally looking it up on his own computer, I kind of want to show all the viewers something. And this is like great. This is super great. Let me turn on my display capture real quick. Give me one moment here. Let me actually just like preload this up. Perfect. All right, look at this. So what I typed in here is, do women outperform men in surgery? Okay. First thing that pops up is, women surgeons, are they better? Female surgeons consistently receive higher patient scores. Next thing is this surgeon sex and long-term postoperative outcome among patients undergoing common surgeries. You scroll down. The results are, among all of these studies, the patients had better outcomes when they were operated on by women compared to men. Okay, right, you go down to the very next thing that pops up on the screen. It says female surgeons have lower rates of long-term adverse health effects when operating on patients. And then Guardian, same thing. Patients have better health outcomes with female surgeons. Now, even if we want to change this claim, let's say, do men outperform women in surgery, we'll actually just see that AI says no, and then that's actually corroborated by the Journal of the American Medical Association, which demonstrates through the comparison of male and female surgeons' experience with gender across 5 qualitative/quantitative domains that women outperform men. Same thing with the systemic review. Female surgeons have a lower mortality rate compared to those that were treated by male surgeons. That same Guardian article, you have Rutgers, Women in Surgery, Increasing Numbers and Influence, which once again likely goes over that same fact. That there's better outcomes when you're operated on by a woman, right? It's just like, it's a fact that you can't deny, that no one can deny. And I expect you to apologize for such a brash, misogynistic claim with at least 5 tears and 1 ukulele. Please.
What are you talking about? Some ukulele?
Yeah, I want 5 tears and a ukulele for an apology.
I'm gonna give you money because I lost the debate.
I mean, you can if you want. I never said money. I said
Well,
5 tears.
you think I lost the debate, but I genuinely think that men are better leaders than women. I'm not saying women can't be great leaders.
Well, before we go back to the leadership thing, you said that they're better surgeons, but I've definitely proven that one false, right?
This is what I don't understand. Why'd you bring up surgeons? Because I know for a fact surgery and being a leader are completely different things. Because having authority and being able to keep a needle still, completely different things.
What's the connection between these two things? The connection was that you're arguing men are better at leading because more leaders are men. Well, more surgeons are men, yet they're worse at it. So just because men dominate in a field doesn't mean they're better. Okay, I'll just run away. Proving the weakness of the male ego by running away. If men were truly better at leading than women, then we wouldn't expect you as a man to get hurt, get bruised, and run away with your tail in between your legs. Guess you're hurt and bruised. Well, make sure when you go to the hospital for your injuries that you request a woman. Let's go and get that next guest loaded up into the box because that guy couldn't handle it. Only up inside of the queue of your MAGA. Only up inside of the queue of your MAGA. Oh my God. Ooh. All right, let's go to get the next guest loaded up in here. You know, Liam, I wasn't going to bring you up because I debated you yesterday on politics, but I've never debated you on what you think about women in positions of leadership. Do you believe that women are worse at leading than men?
Yes, I do, actually.
I got to talk to you about it, Liam. Why do you think that men are better at leading than women?
I think that women are better at guiding, men are better at leadership. I think that what you guys were just talking about as far as surgery goes, I think that would be like ingrained in the fiber of what women really are. Women are the ones that bring life into this world. So they would inherently be better at preserving life. I think that that goes with just the way that God made women. But you yourself would have to tell me that men are just as good. Wait, stop laughing. Let me finish, bro, so you could present your argument. I believe that you would have to say under your world misunderstanding of what men and women are, you would have to say that trans men would they be great surgeons as well? Because they would be women, right? So would they fall under the category of female surgeons, even though they're biological males?
So first and foremost, in having a conversation about let's see if you clocked me. Let me respond. So first and foremost, in having a conversation about are men better at leading than women, especially in the context that I want you to give your argument that they are, because I disagree with you, I'm pre-assuming your definitions of what a man and a woman are for the...
No, you're not. No. I'm looking at your worldview. Don't do that.
Yeah. I'm going to respond to your critique of my worldview here in a moment. I just got to get this out.
Good try, though, bro. I like that. Yeah, I like how you pivoted.
I'm almost done. It's not a pivot.
Threw the goalpost over at me, but go ahead, Dean Withers. Yeah.
I appreciate that. So first and foremost, when we're having a conversation about why you think men are better at leading than women, I'm assuming your definitions of the word man and woman, male and female, okay? Because it just makes the debate easier. Now, for your question about trans men are biologically female, trans women are biologically male. We would expect trans men to be slightly better at surgery than trans women on average. Yeah, that's a fact. Now, because trans people account for only 1% of the total population, still yet we'd see a general propensity for women to outperform men in surgery, since the vast majority of women are cis. Now, please tell me why you think that men are better at leading than women.
I just told you under that view, but I'll tell you why. I'll tell you another one. Statistics show that if you
that wasn't a reason why you thought that men are better at leading than women.
There's a lot of different reasons, but one would be statistics show that if you drop a man and a woman off in the middle of nowhere and they had to find their way back to, just say, civilization, statistics show that men are better at directions. They're taking directions. So then as far as, I would say a little bit more dominant as far as physicality goes, that this would ring true as well. To live off the land maybe a bit easier. Not in all cases, because there's some feminine men, for sure. But definitely, you can search it up and find out that men are definitely better at directions than women. Just slightly.
Okay. I'm waiting for you to tell me why you think that men are better at leading than women. I'm writing these points down.
Yeah, I just told you by directions.
Wait, like being able to use some sense of an innate compass in their mind. How does that make them better at leading?
I don't mean
true. Or I'm sorry. I don't even need to fact check that. Let's just assume that what you're saying is true. Studies demonstrate that men have a slight edge over women on average when it would come to innate directional ability for whatever sexual dimorphic fact of human anatomy and neuroscience. Why would that make them better at leading?
Because they're better at following directions for one thing.
Wait, no, you're equivocating between how you're using the word direction here. We mean literal direction, north, south, east, and west. Not better at following direction, some other sense of doing the rational thing as directed by your advisor, right? But once again, assuming that you're right, that men have a slightly better innate sense of literal direction, north, south, east, and west on average compared to women, why would this make them better at leading?
I mean, they're all different points. So people are very like...
Yeah, but like, why would this one play into like
wait,
slew of why they're better at leading at all, right? This is...
You can't just cherry pick to one thing about
but
men
I'm
and
asking
women.
how it's relevant in the slightest.
Do you believe men and women are different?
I believe that there's sexual dimorphism that is true of male and females, right? And we are assuming that the definitions of the word man and woman here are male and female, because those are how you define the terms, how you use them, and you're the one making the claim that men are better at leading than women. Therefore, you're making the claim that males are better at leading than females. And so I don't like throw you off into a scorn about how trans women aren't women for the next 30 minutes, and I want to stay on topic. I am assuming your definitions of women and men, and it is absolutely true that there are sexually dimorphic traits that vary amongst males and females. Okay, and I'd actually argue that these sexually dimorphic traits are what give women an upper hand on average as it would relate to making decisions motivated by rationale and less emotion, compared to men who I believe are more likely to make decisions motivated by emotion compared to rationale. Okay, but once again, I'm asking you to give your argument that reasonably concludes that men are better at leading than women, and the only data point in which you've been able to pair it so far is the fact that you think men maybe have a little bit more of like an innate ability to understand direction in the sense of north, south, east, and west compared to women. Okay, right? But even if that were to be true, like I haven't even fact checked that claim, I don't think that it would be relevant to one's leadership ability in the slightest. Like this is like saying, oh, this person likes the color purple more than the color blue, therefore they're going to be better at leading than the person that likes the color blue more than the purple color. More than the color purple, right? Like clearly, like your favorite color probably isn't indicative.
Yeah. So okay.
Of
So
a
extreme.
You are just like you're like a slight edge of being able to navigate.
Let me
north,
help you
south,
out.
east, and west.
Let me help you out. So Christy Nome, were you a fan? Did you think Christy Nome did a great job?
Pickles, I appreciate you so much for the Viking hammer. No, I'm not a fan of Christy Nome, but also when we're having a conversation on if men are better at leading than women or women are better at leading than men, this wouldn't be a conversation indexed or referenced to one specific woman or one specific man. It would more so be a general conversation about what is generally true of all men compared to what is generally true of all women.
Yeah, so I'm just asking you, in a case like, let's take Tom Holman and the medal that was put around his neck under the Barack Obama's term.
Okay.
I'm
still waiting for the argument so far.
Wait a minute. Now you're cutting me off because you know you're going to get cornered again.
Just know that you have to give me an argument for why men are better at leading than women.
So who was better at immigration, Christy Nome or Tom Holman? I didn't make a joke.
I would argue that they both suck. But like I once again want to re-demonstrate the point that like one specific woman or one specific man.
You see the muting, ladies and gentlemen? You saw that,
because
right?
I don't want you to interrupt me, and you're now interrupting me.
No, you are interrupting me. I'm making the strong point.
You're asking me a question.
And you know that you're like, oh my gosh, I have to say that a man was better at immigration, okay? And you have to.
Let me respond, Liam. I don't know enough about Christy Nome or Tom Holman beyond the fact that they both suck because they further the terrible agenda of Trump, okay? But as I've already told you, and I'll repeat again, a conversation about one man's specific leadership ability compared to one woman's specific leadership ability is completely irrelevant to an evaluation on if generally...
Stop it for a minute, dude. You're filibustering now.
It's not a filibuster, or if women are better
yes,
at
it
leading
is.
than men. It is absolutely true that some men are better at leading than some women, just like it is simultaneously also absolutely true that some women are absolutely better at leading than some men. We could both like point out examples of like men in history that were better at leading than other women in history. Just like I could point out examples of certain women in history that were better at leading than some men in history. But a conversation about specific individuals is completely irrelevant to a debate on if generally is one gender better at leading than another gender. Okay? So once again, about your question comparing Christy Nome and the other bald guy that got the medal of whatever from Obama, it is completely irrelevant to you giving me an argument, okay, that men are better at leading than women, because even if Tom Homan were to be better at leading than Christy Nome, which could possibly be true, I don't know, I just think they both suck, this wouldn't tell us that men are better at leading than women. Just like if I was able to point out to you that Kamala Harris was better at leading than Donald Trump, which is definitely true, that doesn't tell us that women are better at leading than men, because Kamala Harris isn't a monolith for all women, Donald Trump isn't a monolith for all men, Christy Nome isn't a monolith for all women, and Tom Homan isn't a monolith for all men. So do you now understand here how this debate, which just surrounds like individual identifications of one woman or one man, is completely irrelevant towards you furthering your argument that generally men are better at leading than women?
I know that what you want to do is you want credible sources, and you want to go, what are the numbers? What do they show? What do we do? But I know we talk about politics a lot. And all I wanted to do, let's just stick with the conservative party, okay? And let's stick.
I want you to give an argument for your claim that men are better at leading than women.
Please.
That's why I brought you up.
And I am. And
Good boy.
I'm trying to show the hypocrisy here coming from you. You have
no. Don't try to show hypocrisy. Give an argument that men are better at leading than women. That's what I want. That's why I brought you up. That's the claim that you made.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm showing you.
Go ahead.
Okay, if you look at the credentials of Kristi Noem versus Tom Homan.
Good boy.
You're looking really bad right now, dude. You've been muting me constantly and talking over me. That's just an automatic W for me.
Wait, a man is looking bad, therefore men are worse at leading, right?
Are you a man?
Yeah.
What is a man?
Well, I told you, we're pre-assuming your definitions of the words men and
No,
women
you tell me what
is
your definition of a man?
If I share my definition of the word man with you, then it will become a debate about trans people and gender identity, not about general leadership ability as it would relate to one's sex. And this is a debate about one's general leadership ability as it would relate to one's sex, not a debate about trans people or gender identity. Give the argument that males are better at leading than females.
Can you give me your definition of what a male is in 3 words?
My God.
No, can you do that?
In 3 words, no. Why are you laughing at that?
Oh my God.
No one can define the word male in 3 words.
You can't define what a human adult male is? There's
not in 3 words.
Male.
No one can define what a male is in 3 words. Not even you.
Is a child an adult?
Wait, one second. No, a child is not an adult. But you asked me to define the word male in less than 3 words. No one can do that. That is literally impossible to do.
Okay, so
you do it. You define the word male in 3 words. You do it.
What is a male? A human?
In 3 words or less.
A human, adult, male.
Circular. You can't define a male and then use a word male in the definition of the word male. Failed.
But what we're doing here is you
failed. You can't use the word male in the definition of the word male. No one can define the word male in less than 3 words. It's actually kind of a nuanced definition because first your mind would jump to XY chromosomes, right? But then you have to account for like Swyer syndrome and different intersex conditions in which can make somebody chromosomally female but phenotypically male. And then you have to be able to account for like phenotypically intersex conditions to do with like both the presence of the vagina and the penis, or even like other forms of like identification in which would fail. So like no, you can't define the word male in 3 words because it is like incredibly nuanced, and because of intersex conditions that can be chromosomal and or phenotypical. Sorry, it's not something that could be condensed to 3 words.
Yeah, but the thing is, what we're getting at, this is all the social construct conversation, okay? And where you get lost in the weeds is if somebody was hit by a car, okay? And let's say they went into the emergency room and they put him down on the gurney, they put him down on the bed there, and they said, hey, this person is pregnant. And they pulled the cover off and looked, and the man had a scrotum and testicles. Do you think that they would look and see if that person was pregnant? They would have to test or go, oh my gosh, here's testicles and a scrotum. They wouldn't even need to test for pregnancy, right?
In like 99.9999999% of scenarios, they wouldn't need to test for pregnancy. However, like I said, there are intersex conditions in which could lead to somebody being phenotypically male, while also in possession of like both the testes and the vagina, while also being in possession of a uterus. So like in 99.99999% of scenarios, okay, right, it is going to be the case that if somebody has testes, they want to test for pregnancy. However, right, like this isn't true in all scenarios because of intersex conditions. But like a conversation, right, about like, you know, biological facts of what constitutes a male or a female and how does intersex conditions play into that question, questioning the sense that it's a binary and maybe more of a spectrum, which is all like a scientific conversation about biological reality is completely far and away from you trying to give me an argument that men are better at leading than women. I want it to be clear for the record and for all the viewers that, the purpose of this guest joining the live was to give us an argument why he thinks men are better at leading than women. And
You're
I
running,
even
dude.
gave him
You're running,
the
bro.
definitions. One moment, Liam. I even gave him the definitions of what a man or a woman is, of just being a male and female, so we don't have to debate about trans people or gender identity, right? So that can't be used as a getaway here. But now he's not even debating me on trans people or gender identity in the way that I use the words man and woman. He's debating me on biology of males and females and science surrounding the reality of what it means to be intersex and how this could possibly play into the limited decisions made by doctors in limited scenarios, or even how we could define the word male, not the word man, but the word male in less than 3 words when that's not possible because of the reality of those intersex conditions. And none of this at all is relevant to a conversation about why men are better at leading than women. I want to be clear here. I have my Google Doc open. I want you to give me an argument insofar as why you think that men are better at leading than women, but you can't do it because you're a brainless idiot. Now, prove me wrong by giving the argument, but you're not going to do it. And by the way, if you don't do it, I'm just going to kick you. I'm just going to kick you. But feel free to try to give the argument one last time.
So the thing is, I can't examine your worldview as you examine mine. You just want to critique me. Is that what this is about? Just say it. Say that, yes, I am not willing.
Due to the fact.
Wait a minute.
Due to the fact that I'm letting you use your
muting me.
definitions of the word man and woman, this is an examination of your view due to the fact that it's an examination of your claim that you think men are better at leading than women. My worldview is not relevant to why you think men are better at leading than women.
Okay, we'll jump back on that in a minute because I'll dog walk you here as well.
So you admit that you pivoted.
Hang on. I pivoted a little bit just because I wanted to test your worldview of what men and women really are, because we are talking about leadership between sexes. And you're saying, you would have to say, and that's what you did. You were like, oh my gosh, he's cornering me because I have to separate males from females in this argument.
What?
So I'll go with your.
I don't ever not separate males and females. You're getting confused.
You can't
Males
fucking
are
stop.
different than females, and that's a biological fact. What are you talking about?
How can you not stop talking, dude? And muting.
Because you're just purporting claims in which are so disingenuously false. I've never argued that males are identical to females. Clearly, there's differences between males and females. I just don't think that there's any differences in which would constitute the claim that males are better at leading.
You've muted me 18 times. I've counted so far. And talked over me
the
6
argument
times.
that men are better at leading than women, bro.
I am right now, and I'm not.
Let's
I'm going
hear
to
it.
go back to the original claim. But dude, you're so disingenuous, bro.
So disingenuous, because I'm telling you that I think there's a difference between males and females, meaning that you can't go, oh, dude's crazy, because I'm right when I misconstrue his view to mean that males are the same as females. Keep crying, bro. Holy shit. I really hope that you don't try to argue that men are better at leading than women because they're less emotional, because you're a goddamn emotional train wreck, you petulant child crash out. What is the argument that men are better at leading than women? We are all getting bored of this nonsense, bro. You came up here, you made a claim at this point 10 to 20 minutes ago that men are better at leading than women, and no one has heard a supporting argument for the claim yet. It's just really annoying, honestly. So let's just try to get the argument here. Why do you think that men are better at leading than women?
Okay, one thing would show that as far as I would say the most mentally challenging, I hope you can agree to this. If not, you're not good at the game. The most technically difficult game, they would say, for kings and queens would be chess, the game of chess. Okay? Men rank much higher in the way that they play chess. Actually, women's ranking is actually lower than men's. Okay, they don't have to play to the level that men play at in the game of chess. This is a fact. Okay? Do your research, snowflake. So this would be showing cognitive skills, which you don't have, little fella.
Oh wait, I'm a man, so therefore you're saying that a man has low cognitive functions?
Aren't you? You're good at the mute button, aren't you? Go ahead, do your research. and get dog walked in front of 15,000 people. That's me muting myself for the first time, chat. Watch.
You're muting me? Oh, wait, sorry. Why are you muting yourself?
I would
You were
love
done
to
with the
mute
argument?
you, but
I know I misspoke. Why are you muting yourself? You're not done with your argument.
I'm just showing the chat when I do mute myself. Watch, I'll mute chat
Okay.
right now.
Don't mute yourself. And
That's
just
actually me
continue
muting
your argument.
myself.
Okay.
So you doing your research? You're hitting a lot of buttons over there. Go ahead. Come
I'm
on.
writing down the reasons why you think that men are better at leading than women, so when you're done giving them, I could respond to them.
Do you know how many different positions and moves you can actually do in chess? Do you know anything about chess at all? You
Yeah, I
don't,
know
do
the
you?
basics. I do know the basics, sure.
What? There's a king and there's a queen. Is that Trump? And who would that be? Melania and Trump?
Bro,
Who is
just
that?
Keep it pushing with the argument why you think men are better at leading than women, please.
I just told you.
Okay, so
They
you're done with
rank
the
higher.
argument.
They
Okay,
rank
so
higher in the
chess.
game of chess.
Sure. So the reason why men rank higher in the game of chess compared to women is because of a massive participation gap where significantly more men play chess than women, which in turn then creates a wider range of talent amongst men and a significantly higher statistical probability
Oh, okay,
for
there it
male
is.
outliers at the top compared to female outliers at the top.
Now he's just reading his AI overview, everyone. Trying to cherry pick. We see it, bro. We see it. Okay?
Let me do the thing again where I close my eyes and look to the side. The reason why men outperform women in the context of chess is because of a significant participation gap, which in turn means that we would expect significantly more male talent compared to female talent, as well as it would introduce a higher statistical probability that there'd be more male outliers towards the higher end of the ranking system, which is why in turn many individuals in participation in the ELO system set lower ELO ranking standards for women.
You can
to
see
meet
you
same
reading
rank
the
as men.
screen, dude.
I'm
We can
literally
all
looking
see
at the
it,
ground
bro.
to pick my phone up. Okay, but I wasn't reading the
We can all
screen.
see you reading, bro. Oh my
Wait, how much do you want to bet?
You're so disingenuous.
How much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet?
How much you want to bet?
Yeah, how much money do you want to bet that I could turn it aside, close
What's
my
the
eyes, and
system?
repeat
Wait,
everything
what's
that
the
I just said?
system? What's the EL? What's the system called? You said the EL what?
ELO. ELO.
So that just came off the top of your head, huh? That system, you just wow, that just boom, that just popped into Dean Withers' brain right now.
I happen to know, like I told you,
You're
a little bit
such a
about
liar,
chess.
bro. It's incredible.
Okay, yeah,
You're
you could call me a
such
liar.
Disingenuous.
The highest ranked ELO chess player ever is Magnus Carlsen. How would I know that if I didn't know what the ELO system is, you idiot? Like, how would I know who the highest ELO ranked chess player ever is if I didn't know what the ELO system is?
What positions does
Wait, no,
the
one
rook-
second. One second.
Wait,
one
no,
second.
no, I wanna-
What? No. Here's the question that I want you to answer. Now that I get to ask you a question about chess. Okay, what does ELO stand for?
This is not about me. This is about you.
No,
doing
answer
your
the question. What does
research,
ELO
okay?
stand for? What does ELO stand for?
I don't know.
Well, okay, guess what? It was a trick question because it doesn't stand for anything. It's just ELO. No, it doesn't stand for anything. Now, if you knew that, okay, well, then you want to answer the question by saying, I don't know. You'd be answering the question by saying it doesn't stand for anything. That's a stupid question, Dean. Okay, so sit down. You're humbled. Once again, you argued that men are better at leading than women because they're better at chess than women. Then I refuted that argument by pointing out the massive participation gap inside of chess, and which would A, lead to a significantly higher statistical probability of male outliers towards the higher end, and B, would lead to the expectation of more male talent compared to female talent due to the fact that there's less female participation.
So are you telling me that women were not allowed to play the game of chess, and that's why they don't play it as well as men? I want to understand. Wait. I want to understand the biases where this is coming from. Were they outlawed to play? They could not play chess, and they were. That's another misogynistic sport or something. Can you explain to me this? I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, so until 1927, they actually were not allowed to play chess. But then after 1927 until the 70s, when chess was the most popular, they were significantly disincentivized to play chess because it was stigmatized as a man's game due to the fact that it was heavily reliant on technical skills of mathematics and logical/critical thought. And we all know in the 20s until the 60s, when women couldn't open up a bank account without having a husband, and women couldn't report rape inside of the context of marriage because they were just viewed as objects for sex, okay, that they were viewed as individuals who shouldn't really be too concerned, okay, with, you know, the male interest of chess.
So an object of sex is what you said. You kind of pivoted there, but I kind of wanted to touch on that. That kind of triggered me a little bit. So would you say that it's actually important that a woman does have some sort of, alignment to that type of person would be like sexy, maybe? You said the alignment of sex. A woman is an alignment of sex if she's going to be like what? A mate, a mother. So I don't understand that. Are you kind of saying women should not be sexy, or how is this even part of the conversation?
Right. Thank you so much for the motorcycle. I'm saying that women aren't objects of sex.
I mean, your entire party and your worldview.
You cut out?
Your entire party and your worldview is body count does not matter for a woman. So what is this? So she's making herself an object to make money, potentially online for sure. This is such a crazy pivot that you threw out here. What is this?
I was just stating a fact that hopefully you'd be able to agree to, that women aren't objects of sex, yet they were viewed as objects of sex legally for years because rape didn't exist in the context of marriage legally. Right?
Now
Like,
we're jumping. Now we're jumping to rape.
That was just an example that I brought up insofar as my explanation of why women were disincentivized to play chess in schools. If you listen, you know this. I mean, hopefully you wouldn't like disagree with me here. Like women were just socially viewed as the baby makers, as the homemakers, and that was kind of it, right? So of course the baby making homemakers, like when in school, right? They were kind of told not to really put a preface on, like the things that weren't relevant to baby making or homemaking, like math, like chess, right? And that's why we saw a massive participation gap even after legalized for women in the 20s. Great show that really goes through this. Even though it's for entertainment, there's still some historical connections here to what was actually true. Would be The Queen's Gambit, one of the best shows ever, by the way. Great.
Actually, I saw that. I saw that. It was great.
But I would like you to respond
dude,
now.
Please stop muting me.
I would
dude.
like you to respond to
it's fucking annoying.
I would like you to respond to the refutation in which I brought up to debunk your argument that men are better at leading than women.
Dude, it's so hard to stay on track and how much you're muting. It's so unnecessary.
That one was for the love of the game.
Yeah, I get it, dude. It's funny. It's really funny, but whatever. Continue to do it. It's all good. So you want me to jump back onto the debate, get back on track? Like, what are you saying?
Yes. I'm saying that no, the fact that there are more males that dominate in chess compared to females does not mean that men are better at leading than women or even better at chess than women due to the massive participation gap.
Yeah, but this would be my pushback on that. It's not a team sport. It's an individual game, okay? You could call it a sport. I think it is. It's a mental sport. It's amazing. The hurdles that you have to accomplish to get, to be a grand master is incredible. So my pushback would be if it's an individual sport, okay, then it doesn't really make sense that you're telling me that women were decentivized, okay? Because any person can study, like you said, the Queen's Gambit. She taught herself, like the story showed that she taught herself, like basically in a basement, had like a mentor who taught her. Then when she finally went to compete, she had all these skills, not from being out there, but being self-taught. That would be like home education, which you don't like as well. You're more for like public schools. Then we have pew-pewing and all this stuff. It's about Trump kind of giving.
Stand
Yeah,
topic.
so that's a whole other topic. But what I'm saying here is I truly believe that this is an individual sport endeavor. And I don't think that it comes down to more and more and more men have played it, so they're better at it. They've been incentivized. It doesn't do anything for your mental if it's an individual sport, okay? Anyone can learn to play this game. They can do it on their downtime. They can do it at home. They don't have to do it in this big public setting where it's going to be, hey, I'm part of a team. This is individual sport. Do you understand?
This guy's so dumb. Okay.
Push back, little dumb boy.
So what happens is when you have a larger group of people that are more interested in learning how to play a game like chess compared to another group of people, the larger group of people will be significantly more likely to produce the ultra good outliers compared to the smaller group of people. Okay? So because there were more men in a larger group of people compared to the women, the smaller group of people that have historically wanted to participate in chess, well, then we would expect more men to perform at a higher level compared to the women because they came from a smaller group. Okay, a really good parallel here would be looking at like the height of chess popularity in America in the 60s or 70s and comparing how good the top USA players were to the top Russian players. The top Russian players were so much better than the top US players at chess. Do you think that's because, dependent on literally where you were born, you are more likely to be better at chess? No. No, not at all. The reason why the top Russian players outcompeted the top US players is because there was a whole lot more Russians than Americans that were interested in playing chess because it was socially promoted to a higher extent. And then once they were interested in playing chess, they had access to better and more resources to learn how to play it greatly, which had nothing to do with the biological location in which where they were born. I don't agree. The reason why men outperform women in chess on average is the same reason why in the 60s and 70s, Russians outperformed Americans on average. More people interested in playing it with access to better resources to learn how to play it.
Well, that doesn't really make sense because what you would have to do is you would have to look academically where that these students were ranking. Okay, we do know that the United States does not rank really high academically, okay? So that's also a problem. Now you'd have to be looking at these regions, okay? These men and women, hopefully, and where their test scores are ranking, especially through,
women perform better at women
again,
perform
you're
than
interrupting.
Hey Parker. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. How's
Good.
Liam here? You?
Yeah, it's just going great. So we're having a debate about the fact that he thinks men are better at leading than women. And then he said that men are better at leading than women because they outperform women in chess. And I was like, clearly the reason why men outperform women in chess is because there's significantly more men who play. That's going to create a larger group of talent within chess that are going to be men, not to mention an increased statistical probability of male outliers on the top end of the skill spectrum. And he said, no! And then I gave him like a really good example about how this is true, not even in the context of men and women, but in the context of America and Russia. At the peak of chess popularity, right, 60s and 70s, Russian chess players dunked on American chess players. Why? Because there was more Russians that played chess. It was more important to learn how to play chess, therefore more people did it, therefore they had a larger talent base, therefore they were more likely to have better outliers, and then they'd send their best outliers to go compete against the Americans, and they'd dunk on the Americans. Is that because people
Russia was better than,
yeah. Is that because of the literal geographic location in which they were born? No, it wasn't because of the literal geographic location in which they're born. The same way is it because they're literally women? No, it's not because they're literally women, right? So I don't know. I'm trying to find a way to communicate that concept to dumb people like Liam, and it's just not working out.
Wow. So I just sit here and listen to you just yap about nonsense.
Exactly. He thinks it's nonsense. Hey, Parker, was anything in which I just said nonsense?
Yeah,
None
because
none of it was nonsense?
Because you...
In fact,
none.
Do you think that you could repeat the gist back to me just to ensure that you understood what I said, just to prove that it wasn't nonsense?
No, Dean, I can't at all. I can't at all. I can't. I think it was nonsense actually. Can we get some that for the nonsense that he just spewed on the live? Eldine.
All right, on a real note, Liam, would you like to legitimately engage in the argument? If not, I'm going to kick you.
Yes, I would love to.
Good boy.
Mr. Vape over here calling me good boy.
Brad, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Let's get 200 Brad W's down below in that chat. Brad with the $20 says, caller's a walking red flag. He's mad about we women can't be put in the little box he wishes we were. The crying and the entitlement is nauseating, prominent in this one. Keep cooking him, Dean. I appreciate you so much for the love, Brad. Let's get 200 Brad W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much. Rodney, thank you for the $10 who says, women with intelligence scare Liam. He's so insecure. Oh, he's a beta male, Rodney. He's very insecure. And then Ronald, that is RONALD. Thank you for the 20 euros over on Super Chat. Show some up to Ronald down below, who says Liam is such a misogynist that he demeans women to the shallow existence of only being individuals whose only talents are housekeeping and making babies. This guy is the reason for the male loneliness epidemic. No, it is. See, one of the negative outcomes of toxic masculinity that are held by, like, you know, this balding 44-year-old with a beer belly is definitely gonna have to be the male loneliness epidemic, because no woman ever wants to have sex with a man that says women suck, right? Couple of people to thank over on Venmo and PayPal as well. Thank you so much, Kevin, for the $1. Shout out to you. And A, thank you for the $5. Huge shout out to you. Thank you so much for the love. And then Carrie, thank you so much for the $100 donation on PayPal. Carrie, thank you so much for the love and support. I want to see 1,000 Carrie W's down below in that chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Carrie with a $100 says, I think that you doing this every day will prematurely age you. I don't know how you put up with these misogynistic pigs. From Nurse Carrie. Thank you so much, Carrie. I really appreciate you so much for the love. That is unreal. And honestly, it does kind of prematurely age me. I have aged like 7 years in the last 2 years I've been doing this, like, unfortunately. Like, I've had to start, like, going to the gym and, like, paying attention to my hair, taking pills for balding, and doing all of this, like, self-care stuff that I didn't have to do before because of the impacts that this has on my cortisol levels. Terrible story. Thank you for the $100, Carrie. Craig, thank you so much for the $10, who says, love the work that you do. Thank you so much for the love, Craig. Let's get 100 Craig W's and 150 Camille W's and CAMILE. Shut up, you fucking grifter. Camille with the $14 says, this is my first time watching your live.
He's angry.
And I've been on for 2 hours. Please keep up the good work. Well, thank you so much, Camille, for the 15, and I hope that you're enjoying today's live stream. I'd also like to thank Cobblestone for the 5. Thank you. And then Lee with the $5 as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you guys so much for the love. You guys are all very kind. It looks like we are all cut up over on PayPal.
Liam, I've never clicked on your account and looked at your videos. I just did for the first time. Holy fucking shit, dude. Liam,
Parker, let's do a push-up contest, you and I, right now.
No,
15,000 people.
good, bro.
No, you want to talk about me? Come on, you're a masculine man. Let's go.
Yeah.
So masculine. Turn your cameras on. Let's go. I'll turn mine on. You and I, right now. Come on.
I have a question.
You go first, Liam.
Why didn't you ask to have a push-up competition with me?
Because he's the one mocking me right now, so I just wanted. I'm going to push back a little bit. So let's go. Come on,
Your videos
Parker.
suck. You're incompetent. You're small.
Come on,
and you're
Parker.
weak.
Don't you, Parker?
I'm
you
mocking
can run.
you.
Listen, you're going to run.
Are you going to want to do a push-up
No, I have
competition?
a beer
against me?
belly. No,
Dean,
oh, that's
you
right.
want to do a push-up competition
I'm
with
bald.
me?
I have a
because
beer
I
belly.
literally
Oh,
made
come on,
fun
Parker.
of his videos.
Parker, let's
Dean,
go.
Have you clicked on his videos yet? Look at it real quick. It's actually the funniest shit ever, dude. I'm sorry, bro. Liam, some of that shit is just so fucking embarrassing.
I'll have to look through them.
I love the promoting, though. The promotion is great. Thank
Liam,
you.
will you do a push-up competition with
Really
me?
cringe.
Liam?
Hang on, my fake wife was calling me right there.
Would you do a push-up competition with me?
Yeah, I would do one with you.
Okay. Do as many push-ups as you can, and I'll double it.
No, you would never act. You can go first, and then I will match what you do.
No, the rules of the
So let's say that I get on the floor.
Yeah,
Let's say that I get on the
Yeah,
floor.
do
and
as many push-ups as you can.
Let's say that I do 50 push-ups on the floor right now. You're going to do 100 push-ups right now online.
Okay, well, we shouldn't act like pigs can fly, Liam.
No, you're telling this 15,100 people that you're going to be able to do 100 push-ups right now because you're an absolute liar. There's no way. I don't think you could even break 40.
That's really embarrassing, Liam.
Let's go. Do it right now.
Yeah, man, I said as soon as you do as many push-ups as you can, I'll double them.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I'm waiting.
what you would do is you would go one
Wait,
for one.
Liam.
Both turn on the
Liam,
camera and you do it one for one.
I'm saying I'm waiting, Liam.
One for one.
You want to
Get
do
on
one
the
for
floor.
one?
Put your camera on the floor.
Okay. If you get on the floor and you put your camera on the floor, I'll do the same.
And you want to have a push-up contest with me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to be paid for this because
What do
I
you
don't
mean you got to
do
be
this.
paid for this? I'm
I don't do
offering
this.
you a 1-for-1 push-up competition right now.
Should I take him on, chat? Should I do the push-up contest?
Don't be a coward, bro.
I mean, you're a cheerleader. You're gonna have to drop. I don't even want you on the panel. You already backed out of it, Parker. You're just a wuss.
Buddy. Keep crying, bud.
You could be the cheerleader in the corner, I guess.
Oh, well, I'm gonna make fun of you in the corner. That's what I'm gonna do.
So are you going to do it, Liam? I'm offering you a 1-for-1 push-up competition. Even got my other account up in the box right now because this is what I'll use to put the camera on the floor. Let's go and get this screen
Oh, look at
shared
Liam's
over
getting
YouTube.
called out in real time.
Yeah. I mean, bro, I'm like I happen to be probably at the at like close to like peak of like my personal physical performance, 21 in the gym every day, like that gives me a significant upper hand here. Right? For sure, right? Like clearly I'll beat you.
Dude, my wife just called me. I have to jump on this, but did I just get a restriction?
Oh, no fucking shot, dude. No way.
No shot, dude. He was so scared, bro. He was so scared. That's crazy. Dude, he backed down immediately, bro.
Unbelievable. Parker. He was the one that brought it up.
I know, right? He brought it up, and then he was not willing to back it up.
Yeah.
All bark, no bite.
All bark, no bite. Dude. I mean, I would do the same thing if I was in his shoes, because like I said, let's look at how human anatomy works. Okay, we have a biological prime at around like 22 through 25 for males for like physical strength and fitness. Okay, he's like 40 or 50, so he's past his prime. Doesn't mean he can't be strong or do a shit ton of push-ups. There's plenty of 40 and 50-year-old men who could do more push-ups than me. Okay, but it just so happens to also be the case that when we add on top of the fact that I'm closer to my biological prime than him, and I'm in the gym every day, okay, and he's not, that there's like really no competition there, right? Like every single time you take somebody who's closer in proximity to their biological prime and they're in the gym every single day compared to somebody who is not closer in proximity to their biological prime and they're not in the gym every single day, all right, it's not like a question. That's just why you go to the gym every day, for instance. But let's go and get that next guest loaded up into the box. Because he ran. We got the next guest loaded in right now. What a runner.
How have your guests been today so far, bro?
They've been kind of shit, Parker, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was like that for me as well, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, welcome into eSport Trump.
Oh, yeah, of course.
How old are you?
18.
Are you driving?
No.
Okay, what year are you born in?
That's irrelevant. I just got a quick question, though.
Okay, then you're not 18. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Everybody in the chat is spamming Jill. Guys, I can't do it. If you want to watch a Jill debate...
I think it's just the same two people.
Yeah, it's just the same two people. If you want to go watch a Jill debate, just like watch Johnny's live, bro. He has her on like every day.
Now
I can't do it.
there's more people now saying it. I think after you mentioned it, more people said it.
Yeah. Like I said, if you want to watch a Jill debate, just tune into Johnny's stream, man. I've been noticing. He's been talking to her like every day. I have no clue how he does it. Let's go to get that next guest, Catherine, loaded up into the box. Okay, Catherine didn't connect. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up in here. We got Twitch Buffalo. Here we go. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yo, that push-up guy was so like
I would assume that you're gonna say that he sucked, which is true. Let's go to get the next guest Connor loaded up.
Liam's the push-up guy. That's hilarious.
Dude, that's gonna haunt him forever. You can never let that one die, Parker.
That better go viral. Someone clip that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, every time you like talk to him, never fail to mention how he ran away from a push-up competition with Dean, okay?
He ran away from the push-up contest with Dean.
Yeah, that has to haunt him for the rest of his days. By the way, if you're watching and you want to support me, you can actually find my Venmo and PayPal, the link tree in the bio on TikTok. Also in the pinned message over in that YT stream and the handle. It's at the top of the phone screen over here. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. By the way, if you could tell, I kind of have to like mumble and like speed run my way through saying that for TikTok TOS, but I think that it works. Hi, do you support Trump, RJ? RJ is not here. Got it. Moving on to the next guest right now. Oh my goodness. All right, trying our best, guys. Trying our best. We got Jimbo loading up into the queue. Hi, do you support Trump?
I'm not 18, but I love y'all.
Banned, but appreciate you for the support, man. Moving on to the next guest, guys. Moving on to the next guest, Monroe. Over on Super Chat, thank you so much for the 10 Canadian dollars. Women's counselor who says, explain a color equal sample size given equal or similar variables. Yeah, that was a concept that I was describing to him just in very simple words, and he's going to get it. And then also Travis, thank you so much for the $20 Super Chat over on YouTube. I really appreciate you so much for that love and support, man. Show some love to Travis down below. Show some love to Travis down below. And Dan, thank you so much for the $25 donation on Venmo, who says, to the push-up champ. Let's go, Dan. I'm the push-up champ. Let's go. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Thank you so much for the support. Show some love to Dan down below. Also, Alex, thank you so much for the $15. She says, call him a good boy again to make him rage. Well, no, he can't. He got a phone call from the wife. Thank you for the $15, Alex. And then CD, thank you for the $10, who says, Leah, men are better at leading than women. Evidence, men are really good at this one board game played at parks. Deadass. Catherine, thank you so much for the $10 as well. I'm sorry I didn't read your message. I'll keep your message to myself. Ivy, thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo. I couldn't agree with you more, Ivy. Let's get 150 IVWs. That is IVEY. Then Amanda, thank you so much for the $20 donation on Venmo, who says, this is all that I could afford to kick this very disgusting person. Well, we got him out of here, not because we kicked him, but because he had to go talk to his wife. Thank you so much for the $20, Amanda. Show some extra special love to Amanda down below. I'm very grateful for you. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Another fetus? Dude, this is not Dean's daycare. This is not Dean's daycare. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up into the box.
Oh no. Oh no.
Come on. Why
Not
are
the
you
debate.
guys so
Jill,
scared
you know,
of me?
you know
Why
that
are
you
you
could, like,
scared of me,
bro, just
Nate?
like, listen, just scroll, just leave the queue. I just brought you up to tell you that you could just scroll, leave the queue, like you're
Why
wasting
did you?
your
Why are
time.
you scared of me, babe? Why?
Jill, because I've talked to you like
Why-
5 times in the last week.
But they like me dog walking your ass.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you don't
And
dog walk me.
Dean's
That's
along,
female likes you.
and Parker's along with you. It's 2-1.
Listen, all
okay?
that I'm telling you is that it would be better for you to just simply scroll.
No, no, it's better for you if I simply scroll. Get it right, brother. Okay.
No, it's better for you because then you don't have to waste your time sitting in my queue knowing that you will never get up on the live.
No, because you're chicken. You're freaking scared of me, both of you.
I'm so
And it's like,
yes,
want me to
Jill.
throw 'em on because you freaking. They want me here. They love seeing me dog walk.
Is
you
that why
all.
literally every single person in the chat is spamming kick?
No, not every one of them. You're a liar. All of them was saying Jill, Jill, Jill. Only if you were saying no, not Jill.
Oh, what
Okay?
about now?
Because
What about
they
now? What
feel
about now? What
bad
about now?
for
What
you.
about now?
Because they feel sorry for you guys.
Oh, yeah, and
okay?
then just-
Wait. I have a good idea to fix this. Type 3 in the comment section if you want Jill
Oh,
to be
of
kicked.
course.
And
because
type
you
2 in
know-
the comment section if you don't want her to be kicked.
Oh, friggin' Parker, most of them are your little friggin' memes, so they're going to do that, okay? Most of, yeah, see, because they're your little memes, they're your little gullies, okay? They're gullible, so they're your little gullies. That's the only reason. Now, anyway, let's friggin' talk about what's going on today. Come on,
Do you know what this button does, Jill?
bring something up, Bubs.
Do you know what happens when I let my finger off this mouse?
Because you're chicken, and you're like,
Do you know what happens, Jill?
Gotta let her go because she's gonna dog walk me, you guys. I'm sorry.
Take a guess of what happens, Jill.
I gotta let her go, you guys, because she dog walks me all the freaking time, and I can't handle it. I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed. I'm embarrassed, you guys, because this.
The piece. So peaceful. Do you support Trump? Slide around too. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
You do? How old are you? That's a kid. Dude, literally, the queue's just Jill and children. That's it. It's just Jill in the daycare. That's the only people who are inside of the queue. Jill in the daycare, guys. Jill in the daycare. All right, we got the next guest loaded up into the box right now. Okay, it's Jill in the daycare. Do you support Trump? It's like a newborn. Got it. Cool. Jill and the children. That's actually really mean, you guys. Okay, we cannot be calling them children. That is really fucked up.
That is very rude to children.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. That is very rude. We're still looking for that next guest, guys. Swear to God, doing my best out here. Doing my best, you guys. All right, do you support Trump?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get on.
No worries. You know, I really have to go pee, so I'm hoping that we could get somebody up in here momentarily so I could go pee. You know, love having a co-host up for that reason, because I just get to go use the restroom whenever I want. Me and my small bladder. Hey, Ben, thank you so much for the $25 donation over on Venmo. I really appreciate you, man. Let's get 250 Ben W's. Thank you so much for the support, bro. Ben with the 25 says, of course, foreign policy and economics and governance, all identical to a board game. So real, Ben. Thank you for the 25. Rita, thank you so much for the $20, who says Judith Puller is regarded as the strongest female chess player in history and is the most prominent Hungarian figure in the world champion conversation. While never winning the overall absolute world champion, she broke Bobby Fischer's record. Exactly. Okay, because like there's no it's not a fact that men are innately better at chess than women. So like given that we do have some women playing, we would expect some limited outliers like Judith. Thank you for the $20. And then M Rose, thank you so much for the $25, who says, was Liam's argument that men are better at leading because they're better at following somebody who leads them? I think that's what he was arguing at first, but then he realized it was bullshit. Thank you for the $11, Oscar. Thank you, Ben, for another $25. And then thank you, Allie, for the 5 and Crystal for the 5. Show some love to all of our donors down below in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Welcome in, Jazz Singer. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do. Well, it's really only one thing. So I
How
remember
old are you?
watching. I'm 18 years old. I was born
What
on
year
January
were you
20th.
born in?
January 20th, 2008.
Okay, you'd be 19.
Yeah. Well, so basically, I listened.
Parker has 20 minutes
There,
before he needs
Dean's
to go.
daycare.
Parker has 20 minutes before he needs to go. If I can't go pee in
Do
the
it.
next
We got this.
minutes, bro. That's how I feel inside. Just kidding. I'm actually kind of chilling, not going to lie. Okay. This guy's name is Justin Hill. He'd be 18. He would not be... Wait.
I'm 21.
Did he say 2007? Or
No, that wasn't
2000?
me. That was the guy.
Did the last guy say 2007 or 2008? He said 08? Okay, and then he would be 18. Alright, what was his name? Jazz or whatever? Feel free to hop back inside that queue, man.
That's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. I do that to you sometimes.
I was wrong. Yeah, it's bound to happen sometimes. Hi, Jackson. Do you support Trump?
Hey, Dean. I was on here a few weeks ago, and I was kind of confused where I stood with my quote-unquote supportation with Trump, and I would just like to inform you that I no longer support him.
Hey,
He
nice,
is,
man.
Not a true American president in my eyes anymore. He's putting a foreign country before us, and I'm not saying we shouldn't support foreign countries. However, when you are truly hurting the American citizens daily, financially, like, right,
Good
cost of living has gone up increasingly since we've all grown up, and he's just putting us into a spot that is extremely unfair and extremely selfish. And not to mention that he was mentioned in the Epstein files as a pedophile hundreds of
Jackson?
times. And
I love to hear that you no longer support Trump, man. I think that's awesome. Thank you for coming up a couple weeks ago, and I'm really happy I could change your mind. I'm sorry if I'm rushing you a little bit. Parker just doesn't have that much longer until he has to dip down.
hell,
And
Parker.
we need to find a Trump supporter before
Yes, sir.
Parker has to dip so I could go use the bathroom. But I really
sir.
appreciate you for coming up, man. And it's really happy to hear that you changed your mind.
Yes, sir. I appreciate what you do, Dean.
Yeah, you take care, dude. You take care. Justin Hill, what year were you born in?
Yeah, 2004.
Okay. What do you do for work?
I am a college student.
Okay. How many credit hours do you do per semester?
I'm a senior right now, so I graduate after this semester.
So how many credit hours per semester do you do?
I'm in 15 right now.
Okay.
Each class is 3 credits. Which means I'm in.
Yeah.
We
okay.
can do
I
the
believe
math
you.
there.
You just sound a little young, but okay. I believe you.
Dang.
Why do you sport Trump?
I get that a lot.
Why do you sport
Yeah, I
Trump?
do.
Why?
I think that. Well, to be honest, I'm a supporter of Jill. Can we get Jill back? I like Jill.
Do you think that Jill would be able to give a better argument than you?
Well, yeah, wait.
Yeah, she probably would.
Why
She seems like
why
she's
do you support Jill?
well, I got on and Jill was yapping, and I thought it was quite funny.
I think all he knows about her is that she's some like screaming old person.
Yes,
That's it.
that is exactly what I know about Jill.
Yeah. Well,
To be
unfortunately
totally
for you-
honest, I'm an independent. If you'd like to persuade me to be a Trump
Well-
supporter, that
Oh, so you're not a Trump supporter?
no, I'm an independent.
Okay.
And Dean going crazy right now.
Just need to go pee, man.
Dude, I think that this is. I think we can find someone. I got you. Watch.
We gotta really try. We gotta try hard. We gotta try hard, real hard.
We got this. We got this. We'll get.
It looks like Jill rage quit. She usually just like rejoins the queue, then sits in there for another 2 hours. She's not. She left. What's up, Grayson? Do you support Trump?
I just have one question though. I don't.
I gotta know if you're MAGA, because if you're not, I gotta ban you.
By the way, I was gonna ask. Do I have echo on when I like just leave it unmuted?
Test. Nope.
Play Farm Sim. Please. Please.
Farm Sim kid.
Hello, Dean.
I said when I hit 1 million
Will you play
subscribers
it?
on YouTube, I'll
Please.
play Farm Sim.
Pardon?
When either of us hit 1 million subs on
Will you
YouTube,
play it
we'll
with me,
Farm Sim.
Dean?
Yeah, when either of us hit 1 million, we will.
Oh, thanks, Dean. I love
Also,
you.
Good creep
Play
cover
Farm
the other
Sim.
day. Good
Pardon?
creep
Play
cover.
Farm Sim.
Good creep cover the other day. Yeah.
Can you imagine if like Farm Sim Kid is like actually paid by Farm Sim to promote Farm
To
Sim?
promote it. Yeah, when either of us hit 1 million, we'll find you because you somehow find us every day, all day, and we'll send you a parental release form to ensure that we have your parents' consent to play it with you on air, and then we'll stream
We'll
it.
have to wait like a decade.
What's that?
We're gonna have to like wait like a decade.
Yeah, I have no clue how old that guy is. I just know that he's been asking us to play Farm Sim with him for years, so.
Yeah, at this point it's been a few years. Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually kind of am getting to the point where I would take a night to maybe play a little bit of Farm Sim with that
Is it just
kid
me or
with,
does Farm
parental
Sim
consent.
kids sound older too?
Yeah. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do and I don't at the same time. I kind of
So-
can't because I'm like Canadian, but like I do at the same time.
Can I have you read my rules for me?
I did not see Be American.
That's okay. Can you just read them so everyone knows what they are?
Would you like me to?
Yeah.
Be 18, be American, be MAGA.
Okay. Thank you, Mickey. I hope you have a good rest of your day. If you're inside of the queue, please follow the rules. And if you're curious, you don't see this on YouTube, you only see this on TikTok, but the rules are like on top of my face, dude. They're on top of my face on TikTok. Let's go and try to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Let's get that next guest loaded up into the queue. Hi, do you support Trump, Liam?
Yes.
How old are you?
13. My bad. I didn't.
Wow. This is brutal, Dean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but you're so cute, bro. You're cute, but do that!
We got FBE.
Can you please debate my dad?
Is he with you?
He's
right
not a
now?
troll, I promise.
Hello.
Hi. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, welcome in. My name's Dean. I have my friend Parker on the line. I don't
Very
know what you
nice.
know about what we do here, so I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a rundown. We do a live stream on the internet where anyone can call in, and the purpose of our show is to talk to people that support Trump as president, to have a debate and to hopefully change their mind. So,
okay,
if you're on board with all that, I'm actually just going to pass the mic here to my friend Parker for a moment to kind of start the dialogue, so I could go use the restroom.
Fair enough.
You know, we'll both be kind of talking to you about your support for Trump. So if you want to take it away and tell Parker why you're MAGA, go for it.
All right, Parker, how you doing today? Just calling in to say I support Trump, support the MAGA.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Because he's, the last administration just seemed to let America get pushed around, and Trump's not going for that. He's stopping the drug flow. He's securing the oil, trying to secure up the Middle East.
Do you think that Americans should be dying on behalf of a war for Israel?
I think it's a war to help stabilize the world.
How is it stabilizing the world? If especially Iran, there's no U.S. intelligence Iran was going to strike the U.S.
Well, previous administrations sent gold and cash to Iran, and that wasn't working either. So maybe the missiles will work out better.
Well, they didn't send money to them. They just they put sanctions on them and then removed those sanctions so that they could have surveillance over their nuclear enrichment facilities. So it was to prevent them from developing nuclear weapons through negotiation and not through war.
All right, makes sense.
Would you prefer negotiation and rather not war?
I mean, I'd have to say you're correct on that. I always go negotiation over war, but sometimes to get the job done, you got to take the tough route.
But you clearly the job did get done, but prior to that point. And also Trump said that we completely destroyed their nuclear sites anyway 6 months ago. I thought they were supposed to be gone for years, but apparently they're able to develop a nuclear weapon already 6 months later.
I mean, they did have some buildings going on those sites, and you never know how quickly they can rebuild up.
Rebuild what up, are you saying?
Their nuclear program.
So, then if they could do it quickly, then the original strikes, were they bad or were they ineffective?
I could say potentially ineffective, but...
Okay. So if you would at least acknowledge that they would be potentially ineffective, would you say that at least Obama had a more effective way of addressing this? Because Trump, when originally addressing this, said that Obama would start a war with Iran because he's weak and ineffective and cannot negotiate.
I feel like the Obama and Biden administrations were showing weakness in America and letting other countries push us around.
How so?
Basically they bowed down to these countries and made it sound like America was some kind of demon, where Trump is showing that America's powerful and, we're a world leader out here.
How did they make us seem like a demon? I'm really confused.
Some of their speeches and references to other countries and
such as?
Like with Obama in France, with his speech there, kind of like...
What did he say?
Well, it kind of demonized America, made us sound weak, and
I don't think he makes us sound weak. I think he strengthened our relationship with our allies. I think Trump's destabilized our relationships with our allies. He's literally threatened to leave NATO. He's threatened to literally invade Greenland. He's threatened to annex Greenland. He's threatened to annex Canada. And that's threatening our core fundamental allyships with those countries.
Yeah, I mean, he's negotiating for Greenland to make us more stable and give us more resources and
I don't think threatening our allies
get on
is going
top
to keep
of
them
communism.
closer.
I mean, it's like the art of the deal. Sometimes you got to shoot high and get something in the middle.
Okay, what art of the deal? What negotiation has he got done that's made things better off? Because he said he got $17 trillion of investment. We've seen real domestic manufacturing investment decline every single quarter of Trump's administration. So although Trump claims success with negotiation, there clearly isn't that success, and we actually see the complete opposite.
I mean, I'm seeing success out there. Is bringing American steel back.
The war is the failure of negotiation. That's what you do when you can't negotiate. Is you go to war.
Yeah, good point. Good point. You got me on that one.
And this is a preemptive war started on behalf of the state of Israel. There was a top Trump official that literally resigned today because he said that there was no U.S. intelligence indicating that Iran was going to strike the United States and that Israel got us into this war.
Well, I mean, the understanding was Israel was going to strike Iran, and once they did that, Iran was going to come after us, so it was a preemptive strike.
Okay, so why did Trump lie about it and say that he's the one who got Israel to do it when multiple officials, or an official in his administration says the exact opposite? And the same thing with Marco Rubio, said the exact opposite as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel sometimes that they get bad intel and he shoots from the hip instead of actually getting all of his intel from different sources. And he does kind of spout off at times. But you got to take the good with the bad.
Did you know the same thing happened under the Biden administration, where Israel came to the United States and said that Hezbollah was going to attack the United States and that we should preemptively strike them? And according to Secretary Blinken, Biden said no, and that we wouldn't be on the side of Israel on any offensive wars of aggression.
I mean, Biden was sending billions of dollars to Israel to fight in the Gaza against the Palestinians.
I'm not disputing that either, but the point that I'm making is that there was a distinction, at least from Biden, that he considered that offensive conflicts that we shouldn't engage in, right, and said no to Israel on that behalf, whereas Trump was willing to say yes in all of these scenarios, no matter what.
I mean, sounds like Biden was kind of talking out of both sides of his mouth.
It doesn't, because I think that they claim from their own side that it was defensive, although I think we would acknowledge that it clearly wasn't, right? They have some sort of delineation, ideologically speaking, that demonstrates that to be the case.
Yeah, and I think, it seems like America, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican in there, they're getting into some kind of conflicts and wars, and we're always funding both sides of every war.
Which is wrong, right? And we shouldn't be doing that, right?
I mean, it's a crazy world we live in, and you got to do some crazy stuff sometimes.
The Biden-Harris administration was the most anti-war administration in modern American history. It's think about it. Okay, well, we saw Bush throw us into the Middle East. Obama continued what was going on in the Middle East. We're doing terrible shit over there, like the war crime on that hospital that killed 47 people, and then the Pentagon was like, not a war crime because it was accidental. Then Obama was like, sorry. Okay. And then we had Trump under his first term, an increase in drone strikes on the Middle East by 482%. Okay. Then first couple months of Biden's term, we withdraw from the Middle East and refuse to do any preemptive strikes on Hezbollah, even after Israel asked us to. Then Trump gets back in the Oval. Next thing we know, in the first year and a half, we're striking their enrichment facilities and going to full-fledged war. The most anti-war admin in modern American history, funny enough, was Biden and Harris.
I disagree
Not saying that they
with
were perfect.
Because
not saying that they're perfect by any
they may not have
means.
had us boots on the ground war, but they were funding plenty of wars.
I would
they
agree.
sent billions. They sent
I would
billions to
agree.
Ukraine.
Well, I mean, I actually think it's a good thing to fund defensive movements. I would argue that funding defensive movements against war is an anti-war sentiment. Now, where I would agree that they're funding war would be Israel, right? That's why I said they're not perfect, because they're absolutely funding the genocide in Palestine, 110%. Okay, but still less anti-war than any other administration that we've had in modern American history.
And before they were funding Israel, they sent $6 billion to the Palestine.
Well, I mean, base. Yeah, whoever sends
So they're
money to
basically
Palestine is
funding
anti,
both sides. They're both funding both sides of it.
Yeah, I think they sent some money for humanitarian causes in Palestine. Once again, that's anti-war.
Yeah, I'd have to see what they actually use the money for.
Okay, so you'd argue that that's what they sent the money for, but that's not what they used the money for. Okay, all right. So, I mean, even in consideration of those facts, they're still the least, the most anti-war administration in modern American history. Like, still yet, what we saw under Bush, Obama, and then Trump in his 2 terms was more anti-war than what we saw under Biden.
So we just know that at least Trump is more pro-war than Harris would be. We know that because Harris is against the war with Iran. Trump is in support of the war with Iran. That's evidence right there.
Yeah, but Harris didn't get in, so we don't really know what she would have really done.
She said this. She said that she disagrees with the war with Iran.
Of course she's going to say that, but if she was in and they attacked us, what would have she done?
They attacked us. They weren't going to attack us. According to U.S. intelligence, there was no intelligence indicating that they were going to attack us.
I'm saying it might have been a different situation under Harris.
Okay, but like,
or maybe she would have sent them pallets of gold and cash, and they went to everything would have been happy.
What? I already explained that to you earlier that wasn't what they did. They put sanctions on them, and then they removed the sanctions to be able to get surveillance over their enrichment facilities. Unprecedented levels of surveillance. So that was just that, not giving them money, but giving them access back to the money they already were taking
sanctioned from them.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I was gone when you first started giving the argument why you're pro-Trump. What does that argument reduce to?
Basically just that, he's bringing back America as a power. He's, bringing back American steel and.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have my own
tariffs under both administrations for steel.
Yeah. So I don't think that Donald Trump.
Now.
I appreciate you for coming up, Parker. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you,
I really don't. I really don't think that there's any good argument to conclude that he's bringing back America, right? Because like domestically, we're feeling pains that we haven't felt in a long time because of him. Like especially when we look at the economy. Last year, 2025, we had the worst jobs report in recorded American history since 2003 if we ignore recessions. Most manufacturing bankruptcies since 2008. Declining amount of business investment after 3 years of a boom under Biden. Declining GDP growth after 3 years of a boom under Biden. Okay, we saw the worst. We saw the most layoffs since the peak of the pandemic. Highest level of unemployment since the pandemic as well. Right, and this trend is only continuing into 2026 with a total loss of 92,000 jobs in February, which was 6 standard deviations behind what was expected by economists across the country.
And I would say that the boom under Biden was caused by the previous Trump administration, and Trump's dealing with the effects of the Biden administration, and that's what's bringing down a lot of our economy and jobs at this point.
Yeah. So then justify that argument. Give evidence for it.
Well, just like them overflowing our borders and putting a strain on everything, and then now all that money's coming back, and Trump's having to deal with all the problems with that.
Wait, so when the borders were being overridden, there was no issue in the job market. But then as soon as the borders close, there is an issue in the job market?
Because it takes time for the effects to happen.
Okay, can you give me reason to believe that? Why would more undocumented immigrants mean a higher unemployment rate?
I mean, it's just over history. It's a cycle. You know,
No,
one
it's actually
president
not
does something,
over
and it takes a
history.
while for it to.
Over history, what's actually true, according to a study done by the Khalil Institute, okay, is actually higher levels of immigration means a lower level of unemployment for natural U.S.-born citizens, because undocumented immigrants and immigrants as a whole, ow, Momo's eating me again, actually incentivize more productivity in the economy due to the fact that they are significantly more likely to work and then engage and buy in many American industries and citizens. So,
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from, and I feel a lot of this deportation stuff is just trying to knock
can you
down
respond
the.
to that though? If the Khalil Institute is saying that like immigrants make our economy better, then why would immigration under Biden be making the economy worse now that Trump's removing them?
Well, just because he flooded America with it and put such a burden on our.
Yeah, how do undocumented immigrants hurt
and-
America?
I mean, I don't have specific numbers, but
Okay, so then why are you assuming that it's hurt America? And why are you also assuming that that pain would only start once Biden's out of office? See, I would argue that we see very clear reason why the economy has gotten worse so far under Trump. Very clear reason. Okay? It is because of the imposition of his tariffs, not based on macroeconomic predictions, okay, but rather based on his own emotions and anger. Okay? Imposing them on every other country in the world, removing them the day later, reimposing them, then reducing them on some countries because their leaders were nice to him. Okay. Then to the big, beautiful bill, which caused a bunch of economic destruction, and according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, he actually took the purchasing power away from the middle and low class and just put it back into the pockets of the ruling elite. According to the CBPP, average Americans making at or under $51,000 per year are actually worse off now because of the big, beautiful bill compared to where they were at before. Not to mention it also took healthcare away from 10 million low-income Americans and food stamps away from 3 million low-income Americans. Not to mention we've also had 2 government shutdowns. So in consideration of these facts, I'd argue that this is why last year we got a terrible jobs report. This is why last month we lost 92,000 jobs. They're directly linked to Donald Trump's policy, none of Biden's policy, because quite frankly, dude, he had great domestic policy that incentivized growth. That was pro-business, which is why we saw 3 years of the fastest increases in investment into American industries that we've ever seen in this country's recorded history.
all right. Yeah, I wasn't aware of some of those facts. But, you know, just like they say, no pain, no gain. Sometimes you got to take a little hit to get better.
Okay, but like, what is the hit that we're taking, and how is it going to make us better? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just like a uninformed liberal, but I don't understand how destroying the job market, causing bankruptcies, and going to war and killing children is going to be beneficial to us in the long term. I mean, do you have an explanation for that?
No, and I don't. You know, I am a little against, you know, he came in saying he was going to end all these wars and everything and be the #1 guy ever ending wars. And now he's kind of turning into a warmonger. But, you know, I'm sticking with him and riding this thing out.
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask you another question?
Yeah.
Sorry, my cat's just in my lap trying to kill me.
It's all good.
Yeah, so is there anything that Trump could do that would make you stop supporting him as president?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, with all these wars and stuff, it kind of, you know, gets me thinking, you know, like about the necessity of them and the purpose, but,
Well, here's my question for you. What if you knew that he engaged in sexual violence, like rape, sexual exploitation? Would you still support him? Oh my gosh.
No.
No, you want it? Okay. Momo, I love you. I'm going to have to get you off my lap. Oh! She's in that mood of, I feel like if I touch her, she's just going to claw me.
Going wild kitty today.
Yeah, it's just how she gets when she's playful. She's really cute, but really dangerous. Oh, there we go. Cute kitty. I'm going to put you on the floor. Ow! Fuck! Oh, no.
See, she's agreeing with the Trump, too.
Yeah, no. My Momo is not a Trump supporter. Okay, I love you, kitty. I'm going to put you on the ground. Okay. All right, anyway, sorry, now let's get back to business. Okay, so you said that if you knew that Donald Trump had sexually exploited anybody, you would stop supporting Donald Trump as president. Can we fairly agree? Ooh, I got to do this carefully. Don't want to touch my eye. I just had to scratch my nose there. Can we fairly agree that a workable definition of the term sexual exploitation would be to unjustly take advantage of somebody sexually?
Sure.
Okay, so if Donald Trump were to unjustly take advantage of somebody sexually, you wouldn't support him as president.
Correct.
Okay, so would an example of a man unjustly taking advantage of somebody sexually or sexually exploiting them be maybe like a male business owner who would unconsensually follow maybe a female employee into the woman's restroom and then peek their head over the door and then look at their private parts?
I mean, I don't know about the allegations and stuff like that. I know everyone calls him misogynist and a womanizer.
This has nothing to do with Trump, and I'm just asking you, like, theoretically here, like, hypothetically, would this be an example of sexual exploitation?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, if Donald Trump were to do something similar to that, unconsensually look at the naked bodies of women or girls, you'd stop supporting him?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just grab this moment in the vault. On the ground. Okay.
Yeah.
1 second. Okay. So, like, if Donald Trump... There we go. There's a moment in the VOD. So, Donald Trump has sexually exploited women and girls by unconsensually looking at their naked bodies. And more than that, he has admitted to it. So, I'm about to play you a clip of Howard Stern's radio show in 2005, where the special guest was Donald Trump. And in this clip, you will hear Donald Trump admit to doing exactly that.
Obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. Right, I want to make sure that
you're like
everything
a doctor.
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no... Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
So don't even say a word, because I want to describe to you the two paths that rest in front of you. First path is to be a man of your word, honor the fact that you just listened to Donald Trump admit to following women and girls into their dressing rooms where there would be naked with no men around, just to then see them with no clothes on, which would be for him to see them naked unconsensually. Okay, and then to admit that you're no longer a Trump supporter, to take the red hat off, grow a spine, and retract your loyalty for MAGA. That's your first path. Now, your second path and your only other path is to find a way to be a raging hypocrite, lose your spine, lose the brain, and annoy us all by engaging in senseless mental contortions of reality. And before I have you describe to us what path you're taking, I just want to thank a couple of my donors. I know that, you haven't been on here before and your daughter just going to pass you the phone. So I accept donations through what I do, and every so often I'll take a moment to thank them. I'm going to do that now just to kind of give you a moment to kind of think over what path you want to take. So first and foremost, Lord T, thank you so much for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. I really appreciate you so much for that love, Lord T. Let's all show some love to Lord T down below. Lord T with the 20 says, Trump has made America so weak since the isolationist period in the early 20th century. Anyone who says otherwise is in a cult or just idiotic. The entire Iran war is self-inflicted, like the bicycle meme. Appreciate you so much for the $20, Lord T. Lord T, you are always on it. Thank you so much for the love, dude. Melissa, thank you for the $5. Who says, you are my emotional support background noise on the way home from work. Hell yeah, I'm happy that I could help you out. Travis, thank you for the $10 to debate. I'll have you up, Travis, if you still happen to be watching. And then Ali, thank you for the 5. And Sophia, thank you for the 1. We are all caught up on Super Chat and Venmo. Let's get caught up on PayPal. Thank you for the $10. Marina, who says, Dean, I'm a huge fan of what you do. Hey, I just read the rest of your message, Marina. That makes me really happy to hear. Shout out to Marina down below in that chat. As well as Kira, thank you so much for the 17 Canadian dollars. Who says, still not over yesterday, you calling yourself the coward. Okay, all right, bro. All right, bro, Kira, I can't repeat that. Thank you for the $14. Lee, thank you for the $5 as well. Then James, thank you so much for the $24 and the 24 cents. Let's get 300 James W's. I appreciate you so much for the love, man. Mike, thank you for the 2. Arthur, thank you so much for the 10. And then NA, thank you for the 5. We're all caught up. Once again, if you're watching and you want to support me, you can actually find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in the bio on my TikTok account, and the pinned message over in that YT stream. And they're also at the top of the phone screen with a handle right there. 100% of those proceeds, you could attach a message and I'll do my best to read it off. And I'm so grateful for the love that you guys have shown me today. Thank you guys so much for the support. It allows me to continue to do this for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, back to the guests. What path are you going to take? Path number 1, stop supporting Trump. Path number 2, lose the spine in the brain and find some way to still justify your continued support, even though moments ago you said you'd stop supporting Trump given that he engaged in this action.
I'm going to take path number 3 and say that, you know, the Howard Stern show is kind of like the National Enquirer. It's a misogynistic show. He's been degrading women for decades. And I see it as Trump kind of doing locker room talk. He's in there with, you know, some guy who's misogynistic and exploits women for years. And Trump's trying to, like, agree with the big jock in the locker room, like, act like he's cool. So I don't know if he actually did those things. He might have just been trying to, you know, seem cool to Stern's misogynistic audience.
Okay. All right, man. So this is something that I'd consider to be a part of path number 2, because even that I find to be indefensible. And I'm going to tell you why in one moment. I just got Miss Arizona, Tasha, Dixon. Yes, there we go. Give me one moment here. We are almost there. Perfect. There it is. Okay. So the reason why I find your latest argument to be insufficient, that, well, maybe he was just joking, he was trying to play along with Howard Stern's bit, is because point number 1, nobody else that has ever been on the Howard Stern show has ever, quote unquote, played along with Howard Stern's bit by boasting about sexual violence that they engaged in that in all reality they were innocent of. Okay. Point number 2, we don't just have his admission of guilt to justify the claim that this is something that he did. We also have corroboration of his admission of guilt from the women and girls that actually competed at these beauty pageants that he owns, like Miss Arizona from 2001, at Miss Teen USA, who said, yeah, Donald Trump would just barge in on me while I'm naked. Mariah Bilato from Miss Teen USA from 1997, who said he just walked in on her while she's naked and would say, don't worry, ladies, I've seen it all before. 3 other unnamed teens from that same year at Miss Teen USA, then Miss Massachusetts, and Miss Vermont from Miss USA in other years. And the point number 3 here, Howard Stern never asked Trump if he would walk in on the naked beauty pageant contestants at the beauty pageants. That's something that Donald Trump brought up. You know, while you're thinking about that, I'll even play you a clip of Tasha Dixon, Miss Arizona from 2001. Let's hear what she had to say about it.
Came strolling right in. There was no second to put a robe on or any sort of clothing or anything. Some girls were topless, other girls were naked.
As Miss Arizona 2001, Tasha Dixon competed in the Miss USA pageant. Donald Trump owned the contest along with Miss Universe and Miss Teen USA for 19 years.
Our first introduction to him was when we were at the dress rehearsal and half naked changing into our bikinis. To have the owner come waltzing in when we're naked or half naked in a very physically vulnerable position, and then to have the pressure of the the people that work for him telling us to go fawn all over him, go walk up to him, talk to him.
And Dixon has strong opinions about what she thinks were Trump's motivations.
I'm telling you, Donald Trump owned the pageant for the reason to utilize his power to get, around beautiful women.
Dixon, who lives in West Hollywood, was...
There you go.
All right. I think you might be flipping me. I might have to go libertarian.
I would argue that the libertarian position is much more preferable than the MAGA position. I mean, look at libertarians in Congress, Thomas Massey. It's not someone I like, but it's somebody I like much more than the Randy Fines of the world.
Right. Now you got me thinking over here.
And just imagine if he, did that to someone in your life. Okay? Because I can imagine if you did that to someone in my life.
Right.
There's a lot of things that I would do to him. But one of the things I want to do to him or for him would be to support him as president. And this is just kind of the beginning of the conversation surrounding Donald Trump's sexual violence. If you want to look at your phone screen, don't worry about that. There it is. If you want to look at your phone screen, what I have on the phone screen is the jury verdict form from a court. This jury verdict form is from the E. Jean Carroll versus Donald Trump civil court case, where the unanimous jury of 9 ruled that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll. This was in 2023 after 4 years of discovery and deliberation inside of the courtroom. Now, if you're like, hey, Dean, why do you say he raped her when clearly the document right in front of my eyes says no to rape, yes to sexual abuse? That's because the jury ruled that he forcefully penetrated her vagina with his fingers, and the legal definition of rape at that time was only the forceful penetration of the vagina with a penis. So legally it was only considered sexual abuse. And, you know, that's also just kind of like item number 2. We have other instances of him sexualizing 10-year-old girls in the 90s. Okay, I could actually play that for you right now. He's walking up a elevator, and while walking up this elevator, he tells her that tells this little 10-year-old girl that he's going to be dating her in 10 years.
Did to CBS News.
Soon. Thursday night. You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
And you have much more on top of that as well, like what we see in the Epstein files. Like, for instance, we have a birthday letter sent from Donald Trump to Epstein in 2005 depicting the naked body of a girl with a statement, "May every new day be another wonderful secret," after talking about a bunch of other very vague, abstract things. I'll actually go ahead and show that to you now. Let's go ahead and get this on the big screen once again. And we could read this together. Starts over by saying, Donald. Oh, the voiceover says, there must be more to life than having everything. Then it says, Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey says, nor will I, but I also know what it is. Donald says, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey says, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald says, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey says, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the moment I saw you. Then Donald says in response, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every other day be a new wonderful secret. And we have more on top of that as well, such as the letter that Epstein sent to Larry Nassar days before he died, took his own life or was killed, you know, whatever conspiracy theory is your cup of tea. And this letter was actually about Donald Trump. Here is the letter, and this might be a little bit hard to read, so I'm also going to pull up a transcript of the letter that's maybe a little bit more eligible. Where did that go? There it is. There it is. There we go. Perfect. So the actual photo of the letter is on the bottom of the screen, and then the transcript of the contents of the letter is going to be on the top of the screen. I'll read this to you now. Dear Larry Nassar, keep in mind, Larry Nassar was found guilty of like multiple counts of child rape, child sexual exploitation, like 20 through 30 counts, okay? You can look him up. He's terrible. You likely already know who he is. Legible, sorry, not eligible. Yikes. Anyways, the letter that Epstein sent to Larry reads, and I quote, as you know by now, I've taken this short route home. Good luck. We shared one thing, our love and caring for young ladies at the hope that they'd reach their full potential. Our president shares our love of young, nubile girls. Nubile just means sexually attractive. When a young beauty walked by, he loved to quote-unquote grab snatch, whereas we ended up snatching grub in the mess halls of the system. Life is unfair. Yours, Jeffrey Epstein. And then also inside of the Epstein files, we have confirmed instances of credible allegations being made against Donald Trump. The most credible allegation would be from a victim who claimed Jeffrey Epstein raped them in the 80s, and then later sat down with the FBI for an interview once the exploration into his other crimes had been opened in 2019, and they interviewed her 3 or 4 times, and then she actually went on to sue Jeffrey Epstein's estate after he had died, and she won a settlement of millions of dollars for the rape and sexual abuse that she experienced at the hands of Epstein. However, the same girl who's now a woman, in the same breath of accusing Epstein, which rather proved to be true, also accused Trump of doing the same things to her. In fact, the accusation is that Epstein had introduced her to Trump, and then she was forced to do things to him too. And due to the fact that she sued Epstein, won a settlement, was labeled as a credible victim. We know that she was taken advantage of by him. Why would she turn around and lie about Trump, right? I feel like that's definitely something we should trust. And we also have other really weird and crude comments, like him sexualizing his own daughter during that same Howard Stern interview. Howard Stern called her a hot piece of ass. Then Trump said, yeah. And in reference to that same credible accusation that we were just talking about from the Epstein files, we know that because of public pressure. In fact, it was unearthed by NPR, then later confirmed by Congress, that Donald Trump had that file redacted, even though the Epstein Files Transparency Act does not allow for any redactions to be made for anything except the personally identifiable information of victims. So the fact that he redacted the totality of the accusation against him made against the woman that later won a settlement from Epstein was illegal, in violation of the law. So in other words, he illegally hid files accusing him of child rape. And I appreciate you being willing to listen to me. And in fact, your willingness to listen to me is exactly why I have given you such a comprehensive overview of why I think that Trump is a predator. I really don't think I've gone over the specifics this in depth in one go for a long time. But, you know, you never cut me off, so I thought I would. But that's about it.
Yeah, no, good work. I think you might have did your job today and flipped a MAGA. I might have to call the Heartland Institute in Chicago and see how I can start supporting the libertarian effort in this country.
Well, I appreciate you for coming up, man. And, you know, I wish there's a lot more people on the right like you. And I hope that you have a good rest of your day.
All right, brother, keep it real.
Thank you.
Keep it real. Oh, I cut him off when you heard his daughter there at the end. Well, thank you for coming up and putting your dad on the mic. You know, that really is a big step, you guys. Clearly, the libertarian view isn't most optimal from my perspective, but I mean, it is so much better than supporting Trump. It is so much better. And honestly, I think it is maybe the necessary step that a lot of people on the right need, you know? So I'd actually say that to anybody who supports Trump watching the stream right now. Go check out the libertarians. I don't agree with the libertarians, but I agree with them a lot more than MAGA. You know? That is absolutely a W. Man, that was good. That was good. I'm happy he came up here. I'm happy that I could kind of describe that all. By the way, I wasn't lying when I told you guys earlier that Momo was getting a little violent. Look at that. She made me bleed. Diego, if you say you want to beat my ass, fight or box me, it means that you're a raging liberal with blue hair communist.
Bro, you didn't even remember me last time, bro. You're fake, bro. That kind of broke my heart.
I didn't remember you last time?
Yes, I joined like 2 weeks ago, bro. You were like, you didn't even know, bro. I was like, dang, you forgot about me.
No, I didn't forget
about your day once, bro.
I didn't forget about you, Diego.
All right, bro. I love you, daddy.
Dude, Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, he turned around quick. That guy was coming up here like 6 months ago saying he wants to beat my ass. Wow. All right. Let's go to get that next guess. Wow. Let's go to get that next. Wow. Let's go ahead and get that next guess loaded up into the box. Wow. All right, here we go, guys. We got Lorianne loading up into the box. Enemies to lovers for real. For real. Hey, Anna, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. Says Larry Nasser's victim count was significantly higher, closer to 260 to 270 per NBC News in 2018. Thank you for the much-needed correction, Anna. Amy, thank you for the $10. She says, that made me cry. That was awesome. Daughter helping dad. I know, that was good, Amy. That was great. Kelly, thank you for the $10. She says, the way that you just laid out how Trump is a predator was amazing. Please put a video together and post it on all of your platforms. I know that a lot of Trump supporters follow you. Keep it the great work. Should I do that? I think that'd be good. I think that'd be a good thing to do. Because I think all of these things are discussed individually, but I feel like when they're discussed together, they're like a lot more damning, if that makes any sense. You're like, wow. Like, this is so much evidence he's a predator. Matthew, thank you for the $10 who says nice work. Appreciate you, man. Lauren, thank you for the 5. Then Chris with a 5. And then Danielle, thank you for the 7 who says that was a masterclass. Thank you. Well, thank you, Daniel. Okay. All right. Yeah, we are caught up. If you're watching and you want to support me, you could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. They're also in the pinned message over on that YT stream, and the handles at the top of the phone screen on TikTok as well. Appreciate you guys so much for the love and support. What the fuck was that, dude? How does one even do that with their voice? Dude. Hey, Cloud, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much, Cloud. Let's get to it. Cloud W's down below in the comment section who says, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for watching the stream today. I hope that you enjoy. Same thing to you, Alex. Thank you for the 10 who says, Dean, I legit struggle with this. I don't have hope for this nation. I believe that even if blue takes power back, it will be too late. That the damage is unfixable, inevitable collapse. Any thoughts? Germany made a rebound after Hitler. Okay. All right. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And we got this. Not 3 years from now, but 6 months from now when the Democrats sweep in midterms. Okay, that's when the real change starts. Thank you so much for the $10, Alex. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Tell Parker he is so fine. Bye.
Okay. All right, Faith. All right. Moving on to the next guest levy. Only hop inside of that box if you're MAGA, please and thank you. Hi, do you support Trump? Oh, no, Libby's gone. Let's go and get that next guest loaded up into the box. Please do follow the rules, guys. Please do follow the rules. Please do follow the rules, guys. Please do follow the rules. Please do follow the rules, guys. Please do follow the rules. All right. We have maybe one guest left in the tank. Hi, do you support Trump?
Hello. Okay, I have a question. How do you feel about Palestine? Do you think Israel has a right to be its own?
You're not a Trump supporter. You also sound like a minor. You also sound like a British fetus. So you're breaking all three of our rules. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Only up inside of the key of your MAGA, please and thank you. How do you support Trump?
Yeah, of course.
How do you?
2008, January 4th, 2018.
Wait, what the fuck is that profile picture, dude?
That's you, Dean.
Who am I kissing in your profile picture?
Joe Biden.
Why am I kissing Joe Biden?
I don't know, man. You tell me.
No, you tell me. You're the one that made that.
Nah, no, that was IRL. That was real life. I know you met up with
You just snapped the photo?
Yeah, of course. I was your photographer for the picture.
Yeah, you're my photographer, and it looks like Obama's behind me too.
Yes, man.
Okay.
I didn't know you did that.
Is this the only photo in your camera roll of two dudes kissing?
There's way more of you, Dean.
There's a lot of
There's a
photos
lot.
in your camera rolls of two
There's
dudes
like more
kissing.
than 20. There's more
like
than
20
20
photos of two dudes kissing.
Of you.
Of me kissing. Well, okay, it might just be a little bit of an
You and
homoerotic
Parker.
obsession.
It might be.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
I have
So
over,
why do
like,
you support
20
Trump?
Parker, too. I don't know. I just despise you. So if you
No,
like,
you
support
love me. You
Trump-
don't despise me. You love me.
I don't like. That's debatable.
Okay,
But I
then delete the photos of me kissing people off your camera roll.
Come on, man. Dude, come on, man.
Is this like I don't know what do kids call it nowadays? Is it like a yaoi, like forbidden love?
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay, bro. All right. Well, I had to take it up with Wattpad, not with me. Let's go to move on to the next guest, James. We got James loading up into the box. Here we go. Do you support Trump?
Let me get some sleep, so can you hop off live?
Just fucking scroll, bro. The hell? By the way, the only reason I know that word is because of the Dirk. You guys force me to know that word and what it means. Very, very fucked up. There's this audio on TikTok. Okay, and it's like, computer, make them gay and kissing. I'm pretty sure that's like exactly what the audio says. Okay, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. That is exactly what you motherfuckers did to me last September for like 3 months. Do you support Trump? Okay, no, they left. Only hop inside of that queue of your MAGA, please, and thank you. All right, we got Zach loading up into the box. Let me see if I can find that audio. It's kind of funny. It's computer. Gay computers. I'm gonna look up gay computer. I think I found it. Oh, never mind. It's somebody that's just repeating the sound. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Is this it? No, that's not it. I can't find it. Unfortunate. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're like 14. You need to scroll, bro. Moving on to the next guest, we got Cody Smith joining up into the box. Guys. Okay, hi, do you support Trump? No, you left. All right, moving on to the next guest right now. We got Lily Fallen Angel connecting. Do you support Trump?
Hello. No, I just wanted to say I love your video.
Well, thank you so much for your kindness. Right now, we're only looking for Trump supporters. Guys, we might even just have to end the debates there. We got maybe like 5 minutes remaining before I gotta hop off. So we may just end the debates there. Me and my girlfriend are going over to my grandparents' house for a little bit of a St. Patty's Day bash. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
What month?
July.
What is the biggest reason why you support Trump?
Okay, can I ask you a question that doesn't involve Trump? Just real quick.
What?
Okay, so I see a lot of videos of you like people like proving you wrong and stuff and like saying that your information is false.
I would.
How do you feel about that?
Would expect people to say that I'm wrong. Yeah, that kind of comes with the job title of being an outspoken partisan political commentator. I would definitely expect some people on the internet to say I'm wrong. That's a fact.
Okay, well, that's all I had to ask. I appreciate you and I respect what you do. Okay, so have a good one.
Thank you, and you have a good rest of your day. Yeah, of course I would expect people to say that I'm wrong. It doesn't mean that I am wrong. You know, clock it. Doesn't mean that I am. But that's what inevitably some people will say. All right. And honestly, I don't see as many videos as one would expect. With us having so many people in and out of the stream every day, I would expect to see like multiple videos every single day posted by like large right-wing figures trying to refute what I say. And I think that actually goes to prove that what I say is like pretty damn accurate a vast majority of the time. And it's pretty damn undeniable the vast majority of the time. And that's why we don't see like YouTube video essays debunking what Dean Withers says. Like, think about it. These lives reach a lot of people. About 1 million people a day. We get over a million impressions every single stream. And you like rarely ever see people like trying to like say what I'm arguing is incorrect. Hi, do you support Trump?
Other way, dude.
It's not like it there. All right, guys, we're just going to do a Q&A for the last couple of minutes here before I end. We probably got a couple more minutes on. If you want to ask me a question, feel free to do so in the chat. If you want to ask me a question in a medium that you will get a guaranteed answer, my Venmo and PayPal are in the link tree in the bio of my TikTok account, pinned message on YouTube, and the handle's at the top of the phone screen. Liz, thank you for the $15 over on Venmo. He says, I'm gonna use quote unquote take it up with Wattpad and more arguments. Thanks. Yeah, you got it, Liz. Thank you for the 15. Robot, thank you for the 10, who says, I think that you should put together a small collection of your videos of your top 5 regular talking points. Great reference to point people to. I'm an editor and would be down to help. That is a good idea, Robot. Really good idea. Thank you for the 10. Same thing to Tina. Thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. Tina with a 50 says, yes, please clip that last part of you describing why he's a predator. I have some family I'd like to share it with. Appreciate you day in and day out. Okay, you know, good idea. I will do that, Tina. Thank you for the $15. You are awesome, awesome, awesome. Show some love to Tina down below in that comment section. Please do show some love to Tina down below. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then Emberly, thank you for the $5, who says, how are you able to come up with responses so quickly? I don't know, probably just practice. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, so I've gotten pretty quick at it. You know what I mean? Plus, there's like not too many things that I haven't heard at least one time before that I don't remember. As well as Christian, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. Where is Momo? I think my girlfriend's home, so I would assume somewhere in the house hanging out with her. Yeah. SJ, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. Did the band that you're in have a name? Nope. We just kind of played for fun. I think that we wanted to come up with a name at one point, but we didn't. Yes, Lovey. DM me about it. Do you still support Trump, says somebody in the chat. What do you fucking think? Guys, did you know that there's actually people out there that think I'm like secretly a Trump supporter? Like, we all know that there's people out there that think I'm like a performative grifter. Like, okay, whatever. Okay, like, whatever. We hear that every day. Okay, who cares? Okay? But what I find to be really crazy is the people out there that like literally think I'm secretly a Trump supporter. That is so crazy, bro. That is so crazy. Right? Like, someone will like post like a hate video on me, and then like the top comment will be, I'm like confused. Why do we hate Dean? And then the response is, well, it's because he's scammed kids at a college campus and he's secretly a Trump supporter and like a billion other things. There's a real big problem with misinformation. There are so many like things that I've done that you could actually critique me over, because I've genuinely made so many missteps, and I acknowledge that. But for whatever reason, the only critiques that actually stick around and end up getting propagated as talking points are like that I was like a Nazi. It's never a Nazi. I was right-wing like last year. No, I changed my mind in 2021 as a kid after J6. It's when I officially stopped supporting Trump. I am secretly still a Trump supporter today. Like, hello? Or that I am terrible because I cried over Charlie Kirk, right? You know, when there's like so many like better points of missteps that I've actually made. It's never those that are talked about. It's so chronically online, man. If you ever want to get a blow up video, just go post some Dean hate. It will blow the fuck up. I'm telling you, it will blow the fuck up. I've actually considered making an alt account and just spamming Dean hate videos so I can like so that I could just prove how like crazy misinformation spreads. Because whenever someone makes a Dean hate video, it just goes crazy. Like, what was the one I saw the other day? It was like, oh yeah, I fucking hate Dean Withers in a leftist way. 160,000 likes. Boom! Just go make a video saying you hate me. It'll go crazy. All right. Did I see the Epstein driving video? Yeah, I did see the video. I don't think it was actually Epstein, though. Danielle, thank you for the $5. And then Caitlin, thank you for the $5 as well over on PayPal, guys. I think that we are going to go to an end for the day. Madam Jamalot, thank you for the $15. Who says you said that you play jazz piano on the podcast. I'm a jazz singer and I have my own band. Jamming could be fun. Thank you for your honest debate and keeping us humble. Been watching for some weeks now. Well, thank you so much, Madam Jamalot. Hell yeah, I think that's awesome. Jazz singer, wow, that's cool. Yeah, I like jazz. I like a little improv jazz on that keyboard of mine. But all right, guys, I'm gonna hop off for the night. See you all tomorrow. Make sure to hit that follow button on your way out on TikTok. We do these every day. Drop a sub, a like, and a comment on the VOD over on YouTube. Peace, love, good night, and goodbye, folks.